but it's just good to have another.
For sure.
Back live?
Cool.
All right.
All
Sorry about that, folks. Had a little bit of a mishap, some internet issues, but we are back. In the meantime, Garcia's just been going up his line. He did burn his trainings, got all the way up to a war growl, and is at the memory you're seeing him at now. Analog Youth on the board as well, just to get a little bit extra kind of gas going. So now he's just kind of considering the ace threat, I think.
Right.
Which is fair. I mean, it's a fair thing to be very concerned about. You gotta really kind of like look out for it. It's spooky.
Yeah, especially like you mentioned, right? There's really no good way to get rid of an ace threat from a Ghidra standpoint.
Right.
On top of the fact that, you've got angels, which is just hard to remove bodies in general.
Right. So we are gonna swing Evo. We reduced the cost for 2,
which is not bad.
That's really good. That new Wargos is so much gas when you get this many cards in trash. Okay, we do have the Shadow Serapi,
which is probably like the worst ace you want to run into.
It's
in
pretty
my
tough.
opinion.
So down 3, he goes down to the Gil X.
Block to pop.
Yeah.
Now you will gain a memory back, I'm assuming, off of the Gilmon.
We'll get a memory back off of that at least, but we don't get our free play out from Ghidra. We don't. Digimon on Design doesn't do anything. Analog Youth doesn't activate, so we lose a lot of value. We lose a lot of value.
We lose a lot of value now.
But we have Rush Gallant.
I was about to say, you do have Rush Gallant.
There's no, now, mind you, of course, the bodies on board are too small for Rush Gallant to pop, but we can still play Rush Gallant and swing over that.
Well, Magna Ange is giving to mini blocker, so Luis will have to kind of decide. I'm assuming most players will choose to not block with Dimini if it's going to die, right? So you are looking at a way to potentially...
Well, we have a Jack Raid.
We have a Jack Raid as well. So, this isn't all doomers yet for Mike over here.
No, not by any means. So just has to decide what he wants to do here. Because you can Jack Raid... You'll gain 1, I think. I don't think he has more than 25 in trash. I think he's only at I think he's at 17 or so.
Yeah.
Points, 16 to 17.
We are looking at the Crimson Mode Ace as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got options, especially if you play the Rush Gallant out. The Crimson Mode Ace also technically becomes a threat too.
Right.
So, I mean, you definitely look at that card with a lot of it's very favored right now to play it out.
Yeah. No, absolutely. 1 second, I'm trying to bring chat up for us.
Sure.
I know we lost chat on the main screen there, so we can see. Hold on, my phone's not wanting to load it.
But yeah, so we'll go ahead. Looks like we're like halfway there. We're halfway committed to it. So we are gonna play it out. So we go ahead and play out the Gallantmon. Gallantmon on play. Should attempt to pop stuff.
Yeah.
Now we're 12-12.
It won't. It can't pop anything on play because it only pops 6K or less,
or 13 or higher.
Or 13 or higher. Yeah.
Okay.
So he is sitting in that sweet spot right now where he's fine.
Yeah. But like I said earlier, you are presenting that ace threat. If we're not careful. Thank you, Zeke. If we're not careful about that, so it's definitely a good body to have out on board for sure.
Yeah.
And will also, if you play out a small cost body, kind of force Angels to make a decision of, okay, do I want to keep that live or not, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see.
A little bit of work.
The one drop a TK.
Okay. This actually is kind of huge for Garcia.
Yeah. This is not bad at all.
It's really
not bad at all.
It's really good. Because we can swing. There's no ace threat right now. We do gain a memory back because of the Pata.
Right.
Evo Pata on the back. So where do we go? Do we just drop do we drop an Angel on Ace for 4 with the mini protection? It's not a terrible play.
It's not a terrible play at all by any means. I think
-6 on the
Rush Gallant.
Yeah.
Make it a 7K swing. It's not a bad play by any means. And there you go. You called it. Yeah, just drop it
I played
for 4.
too much Angels.
Yeah. Yeet the top. Go ahead and recover 1. -6.
Yeah.
Man, this is making me scared for tomorrow.
And it works.
I hate playing against Angels.
It works out for Shadow Serapi too, because Shadow Serapi, if they redirect now, they'll do another -5
additional.
-5. Yeah. So we'll only be 2K swinging. and which is not great if we
It's not
if
great
it
at
gets
all.
blocked. And we're not going to pop anything off our swings. We have nothing to. Oh.
Don't. Well, if we do it, the problem is how much would it evo for? That's the question. It evos for 4, right? You do have
5.
for 5.
It's 5.
So that's tough, right? Because I guess one thing you could consider is
I think it's 5. Now you got me down myself. Hold on, let me check.
on evo, you go ahead and you attempt to pop up to 15k worth, so you have to trash a purge there. If they go ahead and swing, you know, you will trash
Ace isn't
security.
saving anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4. It does evo for 4 over.
So you
he
could
keep
do
turning.
it. You
He
could
keep
do
turning.
it. You know, you would have to purge 1, I'm assuming, to keep bodies out on board if that's what Angels wants to do. So you burn the Andromon recovery there. You keep turning, you try to swing.
But the big issue is that he still has DP reduction.
Yes.
So he's still the -6. So he's
only
only 9k. He'll be down to 4k if Shadow Seraph he blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll die there and then overflow 5.
Yeah.
Which is not good. So that's tough. And you know you can't delete the Andromon Ace, so that's also a rough spot too because the mini will just shut the protection and then Andromon Ace will recover. So
yeah,
you have
tough.
to.
I don't think that's the play right now. I would say you try to choke as much as possible. Or you could Jack right here, gain 2, play out a rival, force them to purge 1, but then they would just recover. So that's also a dead play.
It's tough.
I would say you just set up.
You need to set up another body and just have an ace play ready to go. Because I think realistically, if that Andromon Ace goes into a Cherubi can evo for 3 over an Archangel, I believe.
Correct.
Right? So with the memory center TK there, he can go Cherubi Ace, play out another level 4, and then he's looking at 2 5 swings and then Valder for game.
As we saw earlier, yeah.
Right? So like Luis is could potentially threatening game on board right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, Garcia, I don't know, man.
That scares me, brother.
Know, man.
That's
he's looking up.
He's like,
He's like,
I don't know. Yeah, that look of like, oh no.
But he knows he's in a tight spot regardless.
Yeah, I think it feels bad, right, at this situation, particularly when you're in top cut, to just rely on either your opponent not having stuff,
right,
or your security saving you.
Right.
But I do think you kind of have to do that right now because if you do anything else, you put yourself in a very, very difficult situation.
Jack Red gain 2.
We're just gonna play out rivals.
He had
no way.
We can hard drop. That's not. It's not great, but it's not bad either. The problem is we're still 1 memory short.
Yeah.
Now the one saving grace I think for that
is the look of a red player versus 3 green. Yes, absolutely.
When you don't have progress keyword does so much with Medusa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you remember I designed it? It works.
Ooh.
He just needs something on board.
Okay.
2 rush gills into the trash.
Is at this point not doing it also questions. Ooh.
Okay, so we're evoing for 4, so we're doing it.
We are gonna do it.
Okay, so what's the
what are we gonna commit to? You minus 15k. Who are you hoping to hit? Regardless, you will protect. You recover 1.
Well, we know he can swing, and he'll still use 1 attacking to mill a bunch of security.
Right, that was the initial thought.
Right, he'll still burn at least 2,
Mm-hmm.
which is not bad by any means. It's just turn is going to pass with this.
Turn is gonna pass, and maybe he set up that analog youth to really just whatever. Yeah, you mill everything actually.
Oh, wait, did he have 30 at this point? Yeah. Okay.
Or did he just? Yeah, he chooses
block.
to block. Will die. Gains the overflow there. Suspends the analog to give him his 3, and just calls it a
2.
day.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
it's
now,
not the worst play in the world because now protections is gone. You know, that's I think the key thing. Now the only concern is, like you said, if you have a Cherubi, you just
right
go.
there.
Yeah.
He showed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think Luis is kind of smiling there too. You just go Cherubi here, play out another body. Even if you don't have the Valder, I mean, you're in such a good spot.
I think your 1 saving grace is if you have like a rivals in security that can delete them, because right now there's no security. There is no protection for Luis at all. So he ideally he really wants to win this turn, because if he doesn't, Garcia can very quickly just overwhelm and pop things and gain a lot of memory back.
Right.
I want to see something just real quick. Make sure.
So there is a Cherubi Ace we saw, but no. Okay, so we go Angemon for 2. Interesting. We're keeping the Cherubi
Sorry,
for
so
the 8th
Cherubius
threat.
only goes over Antila for 3, not over an
So
Archangel.
it's for 4 then.
So it's for 4 Evo, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. Because I thought it might have been, because I knew it Evo for 3 over something.
So we went Angemon. Now the question here is, well, okay.
Now what?
Now what? Right, exactly.
Like, do you swing the Angemon, get yourself the recovery so you have that little extra buffer for Domini? Is that the play? I think it's not a bad play.
Oh, okay. I was like, swing Domini right out the gate? I guess so.
There is no barrier on
No
this
barrier. 7. Okay.
Well, that's really rough though for Garcia because I think that's the 3rd Wargrowl that's in there right now.
13.
Okay, hits a Megidra.
Does not have barrier, so will die and overflow will proc. Right?
It should.
Oh, the Patamon inheritable minus 2 security.
Oh,
Thank you, Zeke.
Thank you, Zeke.
So meets, and then we see a Valder.
He's just bigger than 1K. Yeah, I forgot about the Patamon. Yeah, and then this is what we were talking about. And I forgot you also can use a black or green and then
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah. So
Valder for
Valder's such a good card, dude.
2 checks.
I love how everyone was sleeping on that card, being like, yeah, it's fine. It's all right. And then now it's become like probably one of the most
Analog
staple level
use,
7s.
Yeah. And even if Angemon Ace swings and dies here in security, you have enough memory to just
you just
go for game.
This is pretty much curtains unless it's a rivals to pot. Yeah.
No.
That's it.
And swings,
Yeah. Garcia does lose 2-0 to Angels. So congrats to Luis though. Awesome to see Angels
very well played.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really, really good.
Yeah, that is tough. Because, I mean, like you said, Angels is so sticky that it makes it very, very difficult for Megidra to really do much. And every level, even a 4 threatens an ace. You know, maybe not as a significant ace, but a significant, you know, it still threatens plays that you have to think around and work around. So it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough.
For sure. But, I mean, hey, congrats to, Garcia for getting the top 8 with Megidra. That's still sick. Jumping over.
Holy Batman.
I believe this is game 3. Or they're moving into game 3.
Moving into game 3.
This is Luna versus Howie. This is that board state is terrifying.
That just gave me anxiety. That gave me like a mini panic attack right there.
It's a little crazy. It's get a little nutty, a little wild.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a game where we're gonna easily.
Oh, that was the match.
That was about 2
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So it's 2-0. Okay.
Never mind.
I'm guessing Sakuya took it. Looks
yeah,
like.
it looks like Sakuya took that
Okay.
one. So,
all right. So
I guess we can yap at you a little bit.
Yes,
and then
sir.
Go to a break.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So summarizing top 8 here, we've got 2 players on Royal Knights, Purple Hybrid, Examon, Angels, Megidramon, Hunters, and Sakuya. So the only repeat being Royal Knights. But that being said, very, very good spread. What do you think of this?
Yeah. No, that's really good. So yeah. So it looks like we had the Royal Knight mirror
Mm-hmm.
in round 1 with the Noah's Taban and then Sat.
Yeah.
Mitchell was playing against Exa, or I guess Andrew with Exa.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we just saw Luis and we saw Garcia, and then we just also saw Luna and Howie. So we know moving forward it's gonna be Angels and Sakuya, and then I'm gonna be surprised if Exa won the Purple Hybrid matchup.
I would be very surprised too. Well, so that's an interesting point, Walter. Yeah. So no armors or Magna variant at all.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if
the Armors player must have just bubbled down after losing to Mitchell. I
Yeah,
guess he must
so
have just
Mitchell
bubbled
played
out.
against a Armors player who bubbled down.
Mhm.
I think another issue with Armors too is, I mean, if you run into a Sakuya that high rolls, a Ruin mode pretty much takes you out of the game right there and then. Also playing against things like Purple Hybrid, Hunters. Like Hunters is scary for Armors, I feel like, mainly because if you swing and do your chip damage, you give them Tamers, you're in a tough spot.
Right. Well, the SM Tucks also are really rough for Armor Purge. You don't have
Mhm.
protection from that, so
Mhm.
you kind of have to pray you get Magna X fast
Right.
enough, and you can sit high.
Right.
And sometimes you just pass over too much memory doing that. You don't have the same level of aggression if you focus Magna X.
Right.
But it's a very bless you. It's a very interesting top 8, and I'm excited to see how the other matches are going. and
Absolutely.
What else we got
Absolutely.
going on? The what was another one? I wonder what for armors.
Mm-hmm.
like, do you just Evo Magna in the back and pray against Sakuya? It's like that. Is that your play? It's like, if a ruin mode
It
happens,
feels really
if
bad.
you anticipate a ruin mode.
Yeah, it feels really bad, but that's typically what you have to do. Because there is still value in having a Magna ready to go,
Right.
right? You know, being able to just say, look, my body's there. The only issue is if they have the ruin mode and they do the whole shenanigans, right? Even if it's just a minus 5k DP, you can't necessarily do your armor per shenanigans because your VMons will just die,
Yeah.
right?
True.
So if anything, that Magna just ends up becoming hopefully a Magna X.
Yeah.
That staves you off a turn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it is tough. It is very, very tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Armor also has pretty decent trouble with Angels. I feel like.
Yeah.
All the ace evos and DP reduction, that makes it really hard. That makes it really, really hard for armors to kind of get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. I think I wonder how Noah did.
Yeah.
I hope Noah goes. Oh, I'm rooting for him a little bit. I got a bias. I got a bias. He's a fellow bald and.
Okay. Sounds good. So we're gonna go on a quick break. We'll be back with round 2 of our top cut shortly, and I'll see you soon.
Yep. Hello, everybody. We are back with the Nerd Rage Gaming case tourney over here in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Things are going pretty good. We're in our top. We're in our top cut. We are now on to our top 4.
Top 4 players.
Yep, top 4 undefeated players. Things are so. Round 1, we
Yeah.
saw Sakuya and Angels take it. We know we had a Megidra
Mm-hmm.
that was in there. We know we had Hunters that was in there. Those unfortunately, those did lose. But after doing some yapping, I don't know who won the Royal Nightmare. I didn't hear that, but
we'll see.
I do know that Exa won the match between against Purple Hybrid, which that was crazy to me.
Exa.
But
Wow.
Andrew was telling me, he's like, I got a lot of tamer hate now. Like the X amount X to anybody, like I have some
True.
tamer hate. I can deal with stuff.
True.
A lot of suspending I can do where I can lock down tamers. So it's pretty cool. It's cool to see Exa doing things.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what is going to happen in this next round. Just a quick thing before we jump in real quick. Just shout out to Nerd Rage again for having us here, for hosting this event, for putting on an awesome tournament. It's been a great day so far. So many fun matchups and cool decks to see. Everyone's been super chill, having a good time. And if you're sticking around here, you should definitely go to all their socials, follow them on all their channels, subscribe if you can. Just do your thing. A little promo for them. But here we go.
And I guess that answers your question.
Yes.
Noah won.
Noah won. My bald brother in craft.
Then you just got to get his glasses.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
His
the
glasses are
Very similar
they're
to yours.
phenomenal. They're phenomenal. They're better than mine.
Yeah.
Keep it a buck. He's got like the it's like the almost like Vasha Stampede, like the round glasses, like classic a little bit. Yeah. It's very like that. But yeah, and then Andrew on Exa. So I'm excited to see how this matchup goes. I would assume that Exa has a bit of a tough time with all the removal that that Ronets has access to. Being able to bottom deck Exa is pretty big because they can't really stop that necessarily.
Right.
Unless they have like the Slayer Dramon inheritable. But he can do a decent amount of aggression. He can DP climb pretty big, so that's not an issue for him.
Yeah.
The biggest thing will just be like how fast can he climb up his line, and will the ace threat actually make a difference here?
Right, because I think sort of like what you alluded to, right? Royal decks being a deck full of answers, right? If Andrew just even simply floats something out there, it could be in for a whole world of pain.
Yeah.
What may be key here is the option card, the little 2-cost dragon option.
Oh, Draconic Gene.
Yeah.
Where 3 cost.
3-cost option where that gives you some layer of clap back to any sort of removal potentially.
It's actually pretty bad.
Is it?
It's actually really
Never
bad.
mind.
It doesn't. So the biggest thing with Draconic Gene is that you have to have both of your pieces for the DNA on the board.
Oh, it's not from hand.
It's not
Okay,
like
well, then that's pretty
Miraculous,
mid.
where like when one of them would leave the board,
Ooh.
you can use a card in hand to do the other thing.
Interesting.
Hammerspark. Okay. No, it's not like Miraculous where you can use a card in hand for the DNA to dodge the removal. You have to have both bodies on board, so you have to have like a wing draw and a ground draw, etc. Any
that's
sort of
pretty
setup.
tough.
Yeah, it's bad. It is. I didn't realize that until literally like 2 weeks ago when I was reading it in Jorge's deck, and Jorge was just like, "Oh, this card is cheeks. Why am I running this?"
And Jorge saying his cheeks is pretty cheeks.
Yeah. So we just drop a Magna though.
Mm-hmm.
Pass turn over.
All right, do we warp Evo here, or Evo for free essentially here, right off of the Draco X?
Yeah.
We will do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's had to have come up so clutch for Andrew this entire day.
The
right?
warping?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Without that. I mean, basically having like he's effectively a training.
Or a Peta. Like just
or
a Peta that's
yeah,
just a guaranteed
actually
to
true.
hit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Pretty much. Peta that you have a lot more knowledge on whether it's going to hit or not.
Mm-hmm.
So he can suspend something and make it so something else can't unsuspend. So looks like we're gonna suspend the Magna, make it so the Omeka can't unsuspend next turn, which is that's good thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Omeka is obviously the one that's gonna be sticking around. And what do we do here? Do we just swing over we are 9K. We can swing over the Magna. Yep. Which we'll opt to do. We'll draw a card off of the egg. Noah will get a draw because of the removal. And then we digivolve
into a Slayer.
Okay.
And that's the old EX3 Slayer, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That is the one that can suspend himself to force an opponent's Digimon to attack start a main.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good for forcing out
Ace plays.
It's good for forcing out ace plays now. Before, it was just very good at being annoying when you had EX3 Xmon on the board to block things.
Right. So how does Noah deal with this situation right here? That's gonna be the question.
I mean, there's no protection on it, so
Mm-hmm.
all he has
Last
to do is just
Guardian.
drop something. All Noah has to do is just drop literally pretty much
Anything.
anything in that hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Will do the trick.
I think that's what we were talking about. How that is a bit of a tough hill for Exa to climb over here, right?
Yeah.
Where the bodies that float out there will probably get dealt with if Noah's got the right stuff, which more often than not, Royal Knights will have some way of dealing with it.
Yeah. Andrew pretty much has to like make every turn count for aggression. Like he has to get as much damage in as he can. Right now, like he could even just drop the GX Ace
Right.
and tuck the Magna from trash and then just
and
pop.
call it a day.
He can drop one of the Omnis as well and just go ahead and delete it like that. Looks like we are thinking that GX plays it or GX Ace.
GX would be the most efficient right now because you're reducing by what?
He's reducing by 8. Or no, sorry, by
6,
9.
7.
7. Sorry,
Yeah.
I know how to math. We'll get there.
So we do that for 2. You do exactly what you mentioned, right? Tuck the Magna, get rid of the stack.
Yeah. And this works out. And then this way you'll have a GX Ace like ready under your Yggdrasil stack. Because realistically, it's very unlikely that Andrew clears it.
Yeah.
Next turn.
And you honestly are fine passing here, which is exactly what Noah does.
Yeah.
You don't have to give him more memory than you need to. Just go ahead and pass. He has nothing established in the back, so Andrew's going to be forced to restart here.
Yeah.
And you're completely fine with that situation.
Yeah, and talking with Noah, like when we did the interview, he's very, you can tell he's very thoughtful. Like he's thought about a lot of stuff with the deck. He has a lot of knowledge on it. He's been practicing a lot. He said himself like he wished he could have grinded even more than he has, but he said that like he has a pretty good idea on what he's doing.
Yeah.
Feels really confident on it. And
shows.
even just watching him play, like you can see like there's like he is constantly like analyzing, and it's really it's fun to watch him work.
So we go Draco X. Draco X allows Andrew to climb up into a Cordra here. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, like you can. There's no blocker, so you can swing. I don't think GX doesn't have blocker, so.
Right, but he had to hard play that, correct? This can't swing.
Oh right, duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
So just go ahead and pass turn over with the Groundra.
Yeah, just lock down the
Omeka once again.
Yeah, which I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just keep it from being even able to get a chance to swing into security.
So now we're reducing by 8.
Yeah, but now we can drop that Jess. That Jessmon, he pops an 8 KLS, right? When he
I was
spits
about
out
to say, that Jessmon is looking pretty tasty here.
So I think that's just your best call. Just drop the Jessmon, call it a day.
Now the DP buff that the Groundra gets from Cordra is not in all turns, correct?
Correct.
So
I believe I'm pretty sure it's only your turn.
Yeah, I mean like Noah's already handing that card. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna play out Jess. If we play out Jess, you play out a token, pop an AK. You've got a body with decoy out on the board. You have an extra body also that provides aggression as well. So I mean, very solid play. Oh, it's like wait a second.
He's like, is he real? Oh, is there supposed to be? Is that Jessmon supposed to be in the deck?
Interesting. Yeah, I think they're talking about that. We'll just play without it, bot deck it.
It looks like he's realizing they might have gotten stuck on the side.
Yeah, so that's an awkward spot. We'll
Yeah,
see
that's
how
a
they
little bit
resolve
weird.
that here. But as they resolve that, just to talk about the match so far,
Yeah.
I mean, I think still like a very good illustration of what you mentioned earlier, right? Where unless Exa is able to get into a sticky situation or have something established, Royal Knights will just punish any floating bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, uh-oh.
So it looks like we're adjusting it here. Yeah, that is an unfortunate mistake.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
So what are we doing? Okay, it looks like we're just we're calling it a game loss.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, he's playing with a smaller deck, right? So he has a better chance of drawing into certain cards that he needs, which in Royal Knights can be really good. Just an unfortunate accident that happens, but it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that we're catching it early
Mm-hmm.
and catching it in general than catching it like 30 minutes into the round after a game's already progressed or something like that.
Right. Yeah, that's tough. But like you said, at this point, Noah's played brilliantly today. It's one of those things where you just got to shake it off the mental.
Yeah, just don't
Get
let
it
it.
off your shoulder.
Don't let it rattle you.
You've played from behind before. You've done very well. I'd say just keep on going. Andrew's also played very well today too. So this, I think, is just one of those things. It happens. Luckily, it's at a case tournament and not a big regional finals or whatever, right? It
Okay.
is what it is, and you move on.
Yeah, Noah's just checking his deck right now just to make sure there's nothing else missing before we go in, which is be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's all right. We go to game 2.
And I mean, I think to be fair, right? We talk about the counterplay. I don't want to keep harping on that again and again, but if Noah sticks to that game plan, I think he's fine. I think
Yeah.
he's fine.
Yeah, he's already shown that he has the skills and the knowledge to do what he needs to do. Admittedly, I think that game was very much going in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
He was already getting a lot of setup. Andrew was going to be set back behind again off of that after that Jessmon play. But this is why we're seeing stuff, and but I still think that Noah has plenty of opportunities to do this.
Yeah. That is I mean, Andrew's also done very well today too. I mean, to pilot Exa this far
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, the deck is good. I know we kind of talk about it being like, it's just Exa. I mean, the deck still can do some crazy
Yeah.
things, and it's definitely taken a good pilot to get it this far. We go Draco X in the back, which I think time and time again is just proving
Card's
itself
so
to
good.
be a very, very good card for this
Yeah.
deck.
Getting this far with X as an achievement in itself. I
Yep.
think just even like everything else set aside, like it is very impressive to get this far with Exa. So Andrew's just ready to go. You have 3 memory. Just after the cool boy play, we'll go into a Cordra for free because Draco X is insane. Can swing jamming, which is really actually that's actually a really good call for this deck too. Being able to have jamming for those early checks is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Looks like we're going to go into a 5 here potentially at 3 memory, which is really good.
Yeah.
Go into Groundra, you can set something up, go into a level 6 potentially, just force Noah to really deal
Yeah.
with whatever's out there.
Needs to respond. Question is, what do we use to get that far? If we don't Evo into a 6, we did see another Jessmon in Noah's hand.
So it looks like we are going to commit to the 6 on Andrew's end. Yep, we're going to go into Breakdraw for 3 and just say, yeah, deal with me.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's a good call from Andrew as well. Like, even if it's a little bit risky with the 6 going bye-bye, it's better. It forces it so that the Jessmon can't answer as easily. Now, we do see he has an Oryukin Ace. So, I mean, that also kind of just solves the problem. We'll play that for, what, we're reducing by 6, so we'll play it for 3.
3 cost removal option.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much drops, -15. That guy goes bye-bye, and then, for 2. Last Guardian gets some search. Single hit. What do you grab here, though?
I feel like you don't mind seeing Omeka here.
I was going to say, I think
just pick
Omeka's
Omeka
good
up.
just to have for the future.
Yeah.
You see he has an Omni-X in hand, so it makes a lot of sense.
And we've seen Noah do some really crazy things with that Oryukin Ace already. You know, and getting that under your sources early is never a bad thing, as we've seen before. Andrew starts building again. We go into the BT, was it 19 Draco? 20 Draco?
Yeah.
And then just drop a Wisteria for 3. Got some decent reveals here. You have a 3, 4, and a 5, so you can pick what you need. Looks like we're picking up the Cordra here with jamming, which, like you said, is never a bad call for this deck.
Cordras, the jamming Cordra is really good. If there's no blocker on your opponent's side of the board, it's basically just, hey, I get free chip.
Yeah.
I get free chip.
So now we're reducing by 8.
Yeah.
9 if you incorporate Cool Boy with all that. You could drop a Lord Knight. Unfortunately, Lord Knight will not play anything out, but will redirect any sort of swings that Andrew chooses to do.
Yeah, we will choke to 1 if we did that as well.
We'll
We'll
just
just
go
drop a Jess. This is also a good call, too.
Whoa.
Whoop. Cool, we're going crazy.
And a token will come out off of that.
Yeah.
Which is a blocker.
So, sets a blocker. Jessmon. I mean, this is good. Now, because Andrew can't really... I mean, he can crack the boost if he wants, but does he get enough value out of this turn is the question, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can pitch a card to gain 1 off of Draco, right? So you'll do that. Crack the boost, potentially go up to 4.
Yeah.
So you can do some things here and sequence things out.
Okay, we do go Draco X.
Yeah.
Which allows the free Evo into a 4, which I think we're going to go into probably blue-red Cordra, I'm assuming, based on... Oh, no, EX3 Cordra.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, looks like we're considering. Yeah, okay, we do it. We
There's
have to
a
do it.
slight
Yeah, a little bit
moment,
like
wait a second.
moment of hesitation.
Remind me, what does that Cordra do again?
So it gives evade to the stack.
Gotcha.
If you have Dramon or Examon in name, I believe you get evade. He also just has evade himself.
Sure.
So it doesn't do too much right now, but it could come up.
I mean, if you're talking about trying to stay alive and keep your bodies up, evade is never a bad thing. You
No,
kind of force
no.
Noah to
Okay.
just go by the route of DP reduction.
This is pretty good. Wingdra pops the token,
Uh-huh.
which is really nice. And then if we have a new Slayer draw, we can actually delete that Jesmon.
Right, and we do.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because he strips the top 3 sources and then deletes something with no sources. So he'll
Mhm.
just delete the Jesmon. We'll go bye-bye. Unfortunately, we don't get any aggression out of the turn, but that's okay. Right? Controlling board, making sure Ronitz has less sources is pretty good. The hard part is that just like Noah has a lot of different things he can do.
We see an Omni-X over there,
Yeah.
which will bot deck. Evade does not protect against bot deck.
Nope. No, it
So
does not.
it's
And
a
that
very good option here.
Slayer does not have any other form of protection at the moment. Yeah, so we will just go ahead. We're gonna do that. And
Andrew's face. was
Andrew's
just
face says it all. Where he's just like,
"Yep,
man, what do I do?
yep."
We'll go ahead and bot deck. Rest of the stack goes to the trash, and then end of turn can swing. And this is the hard thing is I think Omni X is really hard card for Exa to deal with in a lot of ways, especially when Last Guardian's on the board. Like you can't swing
Yeah.
over it, you can't bot deck it,
Yeah,
you can't.
yeah.
Like, it's
And even if you float another body out there, you can just go ahead, swing and raid. As we
Right.
see, this check goes through. It was a level 5, so was able to stay on board. Andrew just forced to rebuild once again.
yeah, just find
And-
pieces, get yourself set up for next turn as much as you can. You can't stress about what just happened. Like you just have to do what you do.
Yeah. And another thing, too, to mention, right, would be we've seen, I believe this is going to be the 3rd or 4th even Draco X that we've seen from Andrew so
I
far.
think this is the third one.
This
in
is the
game.
3rd one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Noah can play the survival game here, right, which is just kind of, you have answers to all the sacks, right?
Right.
And if we run out of Draco X's, you basically are playing against good old Exa, which is a whole step behind
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's a lot harder for them. He has to use a lot more. He needs to basically get his memory resources set up. He needs tamers. He needs boost, which like there we go, boost right there.
Bye-bye Hammerspark.
Yeah, Draconic Gene as well. We'll go bottom of deck. Okay, so Noah has to decide whether or not he wants to Last Guardian here. That's the big question. Does he want to Last Guardian, keep the Omni-X on board? He could potentially swing, raid, and pierce for another check, and then swing again end of turn. If he wanted to, that's a very viable option. It is a little bit scary leaving the Omni-X on board. 'cause
If
it
you have a
could get
Jess,
handled.
I feel like you just go ahead and tuck him under King Idris.
Oh, true. Yeah, he does have a Jesmon in hand. Yeah,
Because that's
which-
one way to get rid of your body. You don't get the aggression, but honestly, at this point,
You
as
don't
Royal
need
Knights,
it.
you don't need the aggression here. You just
No.
kind of wait for your win con.
You're kind of just chilling. Your security's still in a good spot. Like, yeah, Andrew has a good amount of resources
Yeah.
to work with next turn, pretty much. But you're kind of just playing the waiting game of just burning through the Draco X's until they're playing old Exa and having to hard evo for a million memory
Right.
up their
Right.
line. They don't really cheat anything else.
Yeah, Jess is coming out here
Yeah.
effectively for 1 with Cool Boy. And we'll go ahead, play out the token, pop the AK body or less.
Yep. Now what do we do? We could just drop the Gotsu, choke to 1, stop anything from being played by effect,
Right.
which is not a bad call. Also sets it up for the trash for the Lord Knight plays later as well if it does get handled.
I think choking here is probably your best bet, and that's exactly what we see Noah do here. Choke to 1, force Andrew to just say, look.
Just face. I love his expressions, man.
All right, so we see the Draco X come out. Which 4 do we go into this time around?
Yeah.
So we're looking at the green-red Cordra.
All right.
So boost will pop. We'll go into a Cordra or Groundra here. Groundra effect would suspend something, correct? Or suspend the Tamer, keep it locked down.
Yeah. Yeah, he can lock something down. Now what do we do?
And then we go, looks like we're thinking, and we go Breakdra here for 3. Suspend both bodies, keep them locked down as well. And then go ahead, swing into Jesmon, which is
Yeah.
fair. Just
Yep.
get rid of the Royal Knight.
Makes sense. We could Omeka here with Cool Boy if we wanted to. Choose not.
Yeah.
He'll
Let's do the-
trash top card as security. Oh, let's see. What are we doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Omeka hits when it would leave, and then you trash a card as security, which is a purge. That's tough.
That is tough.
And then he deletes something else, so he'll delete the token.
It's a decent amount of removal from Breakthrough right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that's pretty good.
Okay, so Cool Boy suspended, so no more memory shenanigans off of Cool Boy this turn at least.
Yeah, so now... I mean, do you just, like, swing and bait out the Exa to hit the board? Like, that's not a bad... Oh, can't Omeka because of the Gotsu. Oh, true.
True.
Yeah, that Omeka shouldn't be on the board. Because of the Gotsu.
Play out Omni X. Can't tap the Cool Boy, so we'll play it out for 7. We'll just get rid of it.
Yeah.
It looks like we'll call it a day there and pass turn.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, this is tough. I mean, like we said earlier, right? This is really just Noah playing to just. It's almost like siege mentality here, right? Where you're just kind of draining resources, and at some point, Andrew's just gonna either miss out on the stuff he needs or just get sapped of what he like to see, and you start running suboptimal lines here. We pick up the Wingdra here, and then what?
I mean, you're stuck at 1. There's really not much you can do.
All right, this is the last Draco X.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah, that's true. This is just tough, too, because you have that big Omni X blocker. You're not getting past that.
You're not getting past. You can't swing anyways because you just played him out. You play that out for 3. You can pop a body on Evo.
Yeah, pop 6 care less. So what do we pop?
I'm assuming Gotsu.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
Just
sense.
call it a day. Now you can decide last Guardian or not. Honestly, here, not a bad idea to maybe proc it and just swing into the Wingdra, although the ace play would then become valid.
Yeah. Okay, we will go ahead and burn the last Guardian to stay on the board.
Medieval also could go pretty hard here.
Yeah, it can do some nasty things. We are looking at the Omni play, though. Yeah, I mean, this just makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It
Do
makes
that.
sense, yeah.
You'll play out both the Omni X and the Oryukin. You play him for the 4, effectively, thanks to Cool Boy. And, yeah, just burn all that.
You put yourself at 2, and we see Noah kind of playing with the Oryukin ace once again, because Omni X will allow you to swing end of turn, check a security,
Yep.
Oryukin ace will swing you back turn,
Yep.
and now you can do some crazy shenanigans.
Now you
Omega
just
swing, Omni swing, and Andrew's like, yeah.
Just like, wait, hold on, I got to do my reveals.
A little bit of
Yeah.
little banter between our
And
guys.
then,
and yeah.
end of turn, yeah. All right, we go to game 3.
By the end of the day, I want to see Noah crack a little smile.
He smiled at me when we were interviewing. It was
there you
I
go.
felt my heart went a flutter. It was beautiful. He said he was happy.
That's good.
It was very monotone, but he said it.
That's what this game's all about, man.
He's-
The
he's-
game, the community.
There you go,
It's about
smile.
how- There we go. There it is.
But yeah, this is I just it's a hard matchup for Exa, without a doubt. It is such a hard matchup for Exa. Like the constant just revolving door removal. No, looking at his tokens again. He's just counting all of his cards, making sure.
I feel like he's never gonna. I think he's gonna. Do
Oh
that.
no, it's gonna haunt him.
It's gonna haunt him.
It's gonna
forever
haunt
now.
him. It's at least it happened like during game 1 and not a game 3 scenario or something like that, where it's
Sure,
like, okay,
sure,
that
sure.
that cost me the match type deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But I do want to see, like, Andrew was also doing a good job of removing. Like, he was doing as best he could. It does feel like you probably need to just, like, maybe wait a little bit longer. Don't feel the need to push up and control their board as much, and maybe just try and, like, bide your time for a very explosive turn. Right? Build up resources, build up tamers if you can. If you can get early chip and aggression in, sure, go for it. But you should always, I think you want to preserve your resources for a very explosive turn
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Like it may be a bit unorthodox, but even just keeping like a 6 in the back,
Yeah,
and
sure.
just kind of doing that if you're anticipating that play, because there's so much more damage you can do with your Exas and your XX antibodies.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the hard thing, too. And this is where I feel like I often see a lot of times with Examon is that, like, they don't get to Exa.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
hard to get to Exa. And then, like, when they do, usually when they do, they can win the game most of the time. But
about
it's just,
getting that-
it's so hard to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we see everyone laying out the security. No mulligans happening. Feeling
Alright,
good.
Game 3 it is.
Game 3.
So who's going first? Looks like Andrew's going first. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you want to just try and get your setup going a little bit. You don't wanna wait too long.
And then we go jamming Cordra in the back for 2, which is also very fair.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt. Okay. Run
Alright.
that hatch things.
You can drop a Cool Boy. You can drop the Magnamon. You got a lot of options here.
No, for sure. He has the Oryukin Ace as well in hand, which will be really good for later. But yeah, Magna's just, it's always a safe bet to drop early. There's Cool Boy. Yeah, just get
Yeah.
your board set up, get good to go. You know, this is a pretty good spot. Like, Andrew can't really do, like, yes, like he can remove the Magna without a doubt, but that, you know, you get a draw out of it. It's whatever.
And as we've seen earlier too, like even if you go up into your level 5 or level 6,
Double hit,
you
nice.
know, double hit. Noah has shown that he can respond to those, so you really don't care about giving the 4 memory over
Right.
this early in the game.
Yeah, I think Andrew playing a little bit more patiently this time.
Yeah.
Wanting to just, yeah, like all the setup, get the tamer, get the boost.
Oh.
Let's
So you
say
pick up the 2 of at this point.
You probably
Yeah.
pick up one of the 2. Yeah, I don't think you need another Drake.
Okay,
Oh,
he says
Draco.
goodbye, Cordra.
Okay,
Hey, he's gotten this far. What am I to say?
that's true. That's true. All right, so
Go
sources get in touch
ahead,
for Royal
tuck,
Knights,
draw off of that. Looks like we drew into a medieval.
which is not bad. Could be good for later potentially.
You
Although
could
it's
drop.
not the most impactful thing in this matchup.
It's
I guess.
not
You don't
right
really need it
now.
too
You could
much.
drop the the Alphamon for because you're reducing by what 5, 6, 7 here. You could
Yeah.
You know you're gonna pass Andrew over to 3 regardless because of Davis. You could
So you might
drop
as well
Omeka.
Just
you
drop
know,
the
there's-
alpha, get the recovery.
Get the recovery and just have a body out on there.
Yeah, if he swings early, you know, like for example, if Andrew doesn't remember the opponent's turn effect for alpha chip security with the jamming, he can just lose the entire stack too.
Yeah.
Recover 1.
hmm And I will say, some folks have mentioned Noah saying, "Oh, well, he's not using Cool Boy." He's basically when he moves the marker, he's incorporating Cool Boy into it.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind for those watching.
Yeah. He
So-
is using the Cool Boy. He's just he's putting the cost where it would be with Cool Boy being used.
Yeah.
He's basically just eliminating some of the steps, which is fine as long as the players understand what's happening and they're okay and it's not like confusing and there's no blatant like just memory cheating. It's all good.
So we go Groundra here for 3.
So that we'll be able to suspend the alpha.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can lock down the Cool Boy.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Yeah. No, it just goes ahead and stuns it.
But we saw in Noah's hand, we had an Oryukin Ace.
Yep.
Which is going to be a bit scary for Andrew here because I don't think there's a way for him to save turn. We will get rid of the Alphamon here off a Slayer, and then we play out the
Play Omeka
Omeka.
off Cool Boy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so now, I mean, turn
I
pass is
think-
over.
I think now is a goodbye Slayer.
Yeah, the Slayer just not sticking on the board. That Oryukin Ace is gonna come and knock in, I think.
You can Last Guardian here first, put yourself to 0, and then play out Oryukin Ace. I feel like that's probably the safe play here.
Play it for 1 because Cool Boy's stunned. So,
Or the Last Guardian, right? Because you'll gain the 3 back.
well, no, I mean they're both. He can also play Oryukin Ace for 1 as well.
True.
So he can
True,
do it
true,
either
true.
way,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Drop it for 1.
Andrew.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, so the stack does die. Minus 15. Cool Boy can't be used, so yeah,
Mhm.
she's playing for 1. And then we go ahead and I mean, yeah, I think you're right.
Just
I think
Last Guardian here because you're going to 3 regard. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Check first with
That makes
Omeka.
sense,
That's
makes
fair.
sense. Does
Does
die.
die, so you plug yourself up.
Gas.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just
Gas.
gas. Oh yeah, and then gain 3. Yeah. Play out a purge.
So now we extend our turn. Another Oryukin Aces
And a Cool Boy, that's a double hit there.
Yeah. Do you don't really want the Lord Knight right here though? I don't think.
I don't
Like, you
think so because there's really nothing in trash for it to use right now. I feel like
Yeah.
Oryukin Ace has come up so big in this round. Just getting rid of bodies very easily off of
Yeah,
it.
Just being able to minus 15 calls it a day. Makes it easy. It does grab it.
I feel like most decks are running anywhere between 2 or 3, so
Right.
you probably just want to pick up that last copy if that is truly the last one.
Do have to be careful though, because if they both get tucked, you can only play out one,
Right.
and then you'll overflow when you.
Right. I've done that to myself a couple times.
It is a weird line to see. And then just drop a cool boy.
Yeah.
Put him over to his 3. Yeah, makes sense.
Very good spot here.
So what does Andrew do now?
Just build again.
Start another stack. We need to see some other like option resources to like try and like net some more advantage on his side. I think.
That face, Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew's just like looking at how much memory it's going to cost to slam things. Well, because the hard thing is too is that Royal Knights isn't going to fall for the ace play, right? Like they're not gonna.
They know what's coming.
They know what's coming. They're not gonna like just drop something to to have it happen. Oh, he's looking at dropping the Slayer draw. It's a 7 drop. That's not bad. He'll put Noah to his 4. Deals with the Oryukin ace. I mean, yeah. No, I get it. I'd do the same thing. Yep. We'll just delete it because it doesn't have a source. We can, cool boy, but there's no mechas.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, now we Oryukin ace again.
Yeah, I was about to
Slayer draw
say.
loose again.
But at the same vein, that's all your Oryukin's gone. If you were to do that, and like you said, if you start to, I don't know, it's tough because once Andrew starts to build up again, what's your source of removal, right? Outside of Omni X.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. So what are we thinking? It looks like he is thinking about it.
I'll be honest. I think you do it, and just force Andrew to build up again.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many big bodies he can play out, right?
And there goes the Slayer draw again.
Oh,
We'll
just
draw
GX.
two cards off
God.
the cool boys. Yeah, GXA is picking up is pretty good. And now, I mean, yeah, I think you purge. You purge, go to 3, and then what? Just drop a Blanc and a Gotsu, call it a day?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
because this forces Andrew to say, look, like you basically are going to build up again. And you know that he's not going to be able to do that this next turn.
Yeah.
Right? So Blanc is not bad. You can go ahead and pitch to draw 2. That pitch of Gotsu is going to sync very well. If we have a Lord Knight, we have a Last Guardian now. We've got a Jessamon that you can play out next turn to get a token out on board.
Yeah.
You can play another Last Guardian out just to choke to 1, but you have the Davis, so that doesn't matter. You can also just purge here.
No, looks like we are going to just go ahead and Guardian instead, though, rather than Purge. Which is, I think he doesn't really have that many Royal Knight sources to tuck that are too great, so I think this is fine. Grabs an Omni X off of that. Or, oh, sorry, BT13 Omni.
Yeah.
And then what do you do? Just
Now
go
you
ahead.
purge.
Yeah, Purge works fine, too. Put him over to 4, just draw 1, tuck another source. Lord Knight,
No, that's not bad.
pretty good now. That is pretty good now.
Yeah.
We'll put a Jess in there instead. That's fine, too. All right. So
What
Andrew's
can
over at
Andrew do?
4. It's tough because right now, I mean, Noah has game next turn, I think.
Yeah, he does.
Right? Like, if the Oryukin ace gets tucked, that's 3 bodies that play out. There's only 4 security
Well,
left.
what he could also do is just play out a Lord Knight first, bring out a body, and then beat. Well, sorry, no,
The cost reduction stuff wouldn't work there. But it's, yeah, I get I get your general
There's
thought,
multiple lines of play he could go with this, and I think what's hurt Andrew a lot here too is no Draco X. He's been having to force rebuild, but in a much less efficient way.
Andrew catching himself, though, on the swing. He almost
Yeah,
swung,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then it was
He's
like,
like,
you're
wait,
going to
wait,
gain memory. You're going to gain 3 memory. Admittedly, choking to 1's maybe not the worst thing, but also...
I feel like you would much rather have a level 5 there.
Oh, we do have
Like
a
a medieval.
He does have a medieval. I think you drop the medieval here. I think you suspend to medieval.
And then Vortex with your Cordra.
Now, the only thing is Blanc has decoy, right? She decoys Royal Knights, or is it red-black?
That I'm not too sure of.
Which, I mean,
wanna
it
say
doesn't matter.
red-black.
Either way it works.
Yeah,
He's
so
red-black.
look, that's what we're doing.
And he's-
Medieval's coming to play.
Suspend our guy to attempt to pop Oryukin,
Uh-huh.
but we will use Blanc to decoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. Andrew, but I think realistically, it's also it does help in the sense of just dropping Omni now willy nilly could be dangerous if you don't wipe the. Never mind. No, it's not.
It's not.
You
It's
Omni,
not.
you drop the
Omni,
Oryukin
yeah,
ace -15.
bye-bye.
Yeah,
He goes
yeah,
bye-bye.
it doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think we're doing it.
Yeah,
He's
there's no
counting
reason
it. We
not
just
to.
go for it. Suspend the cool boys. Do the ting.
Yeah, gain 2, draw 2 first.
And like I said, Noah has been using he's been just incorporating the cool boys already when he drops the play calls. Andrew, I think, has accepted his fate. It's nice to see him being a good sport about it too.
He's looking at his security like, well, what's in there? Anything gonna help me? And he's scooping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There's really not much you can do. Like
No.
when that turn hits, there are few decks in the game that can actually survive those turns.
Mm-hmm.
And even then when they survive that turn, they still probably lose the turn after sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Andrew being a great sport about it. Overall, it's still good games played. Like it's just it is definitely a hard matchup for Exa, and I think Andrew did like as best he could.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And also, I mean, shout out Andrew too, 'cause we met him at Sully's back when he first started playing the game too.
Yeah.
And it's been nice to see him just kind of like grow into the game, and I think he's been doing very well.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, he likes to mix it up a bit with his decks, and it's cool to see him do good. But yeah, again, Noah, staying undefeated, moving into this top
Will
8.
he take it? I think that's now become the question.
I think there's good odds. I think there's good odds. I'm curious to see the other table or who won at the other table if it's already over.
Yeah.
But it's because it was Sakuya and it was Sakuya versus
Here it is.
Angels.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This could be a grind, I feel like.
This is
a grind.
The ace threats versus Valder are really tough. You don't care about ruin mode stuff as much. The on plays do hurt though. The on play like stopping on plays with Valder arm can be rough, but you also still have ways you can kind of get around it a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which it looks like it's Howie's turn right now. He get a bunch of memory passed over. I think he's trying to assess what to do. It looks like he's thinking it's 6 memory.
Yeah, he's sending that 6 memory. Nothing out on the field outside of the token, but I think I don't know if he has yet to decide to push up or not either.
I wonder if he's missing like a 4 or something, and that's why we're staying back. Because I feel like most of the time, if you're Sakuya, you feel pretty confident pushing up right now.
I mean, I think he's also assessing the board state too. The concern would be
2 ace threats.
2 ace threats. If you stay in the back and just pass turn, you go to 3 off a TK. We've seen Luis before utilize cards like Cherubi Ace, to his advantage to get some extra aggression in, and you have a double alliance essentially with the Magna Angemon.
Yeah.
But on that vein, it would be a 4-cost Evo, so he does have to be. It is tough. It is tough.
Right. Is this game 3, Zeke? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Which also that's good. That's cool to see game 3s.
Yeah.
From both top
Yeah,
tables.
yeah.
So, who out of these 2 decks does
Mhm.
Royal Knights have one that they is there one they particularly you don't want to see? You think?
As a Royal Knights player, like one of these 2, which one would you rather less face? Is that
Yeah.
the question? Sakuya, I feel
Because
like.
of the on plays with Valder.
Yeah,
stopping
I
from
think
stuff?
being able to turbo into Valder just shuts you out like a whole entire turn.
Yeah.
And by the time they go into a Valder, more often than not, next turn is
Yeah,
game.
it's true. That's true. It's fair. That is very fair. So what is? But Angels also all the protection they get. Though I guess the DP reduction for more Ace doesn't care. That card, man.
That card is crazy.
That card. That card alone solved so many issues for Royal Knights. Giving them an on play minus 15k that they can drop for free for 3 to 3
yeah.
basically most of the time is just it's insane. Such a good card.
Yeah, absolutely. Howie's still thinking about some things here. I think they're very valid because this does look like a critical turn.
Okay.
We'll opt to just play out a Tau Ace here for 5. We'll use effect to go into Scramble. Scramble can allow him to go into Sakuya's.
Yeah, which he looks like he's thinking about. So does he do it though? I mean, does he go? I guess it's. I mean, he's doing it. Does he just deciding which Sakuya to go into? He does have 17 Sakuya as well, but Angels doesn't typically bounce you.
Yeah.
Like not at least most of the cards they actually run. They do have cards that can bounce, but they don't usually use them.
Exactly. Looks like Howie's debating. It's a tough call at this point in time. I can't say for certain. Like if I had to pick one, I would almost say I would go for the new Sakuya, just because it also nets you like the draw, it nets you the token
Right.
and all of that, you know, and you can go into Sakuya X and play out another token and still keep turn. So I do think that has some merit to it, just to wideboard and see what you can do.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes against Angels, that's really all you can counterplay with. If they're going to build a whiteboard, you also will build a
Also build
whiteboard
a
and see what you
whiteboard,
can
try and do what
do
But I feel like that's not really an option for Sakuya. So, I mean, tokens help
outside
a
of the
lot,
token play.
but like, yeah, you don't usually have enough cards in your deck to like build a super wide board with other bodies, at least typically.
Yeah.
You might have two main bodies and then like just a buttload of tokens.
Yeah.
So we'll
Okay.
get in the memory off Rika. We went into the 17 to Sakuya.
Into 17, played out a training, suspended Rikas to gain the 2 memory back. So we're back at 3 memory.
Yeah, we have Sakuya X, I believe, in hand. I think we saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of if we're gonna use it.
We'll go QB here for 2 just to set up for next turn.
Yeah, makes sense.
We see a ruin mode there, but I don't think that's really going to
Oh,
do
it
much
doesn't
here.
Super help us here.
And the concern with going into ruin mode would be that if you do end up swinging with it, Tau Ace passes over 4 on that deletion,
Yeah.
which is a little spooky. This is a tough spot for Sakuya to be in.
Yeah.
Because I don't
It's
know if
hard.
there's a clear-cut best play.
And it's a pretty spooky board state, just in
Yeah.
general. It's a hard one because there's 2 ace threats.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you can try and reduce. I mean, it is -6 on the Angel Mon ace. I guess that is one thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we will go ahead.
Oh, no. Something.
Sakuya X, he didn't see what he wanted to see. So we're grabbing a token real quick.
That is a nice deck box.
It is a nice deck box. Deck box. Blah, 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 blah.
So 2 rush tokens sitting there. Swapping out just to make sure that they're both the same.
Yeah.
And where do we go from here?
So now, well, we just used that training. That training can't be used.
That
this turn.
training can't. That training should not be used.
Yeah, we did just play that.
Interesting. Or I wouldn't say interesting. I'd say that shouldn't happen.
Yeah. But we're moving forward.
Yeah. Looking at trash here to see what's in there. I think just to kind of see like what aces have probably been either out on the board or, you know, played out, right?
Right.
So the question here is, well, now what? Is there a way to deal with that second Magna Angemon, you know, with the plays that you have?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would probably be a pause plugin, could be a way to get rid of it. But looks like we will declare a swing with the token. Do we bait out an ace play, which could be scary? Luis is pulling back as if he has one, and we
Okay, it
Yeah.
is Shadow Seraphi. We will Digivolve, but there will not be any minus to happen here. So it'll just go back down to being a Tau Ace.
I actually wonder, do you even care about that?
The token. Question is now, what do we do? Do you block the swing with the mini and call it a day, or where do you go from here? Because you can block the swing with the mini, keep yourself one security up, but then there's still one other token that can swing.
Right.
The Tau Ace can't do anything this turn. It was just played at least,
Right.
so it's
Right,
pretty
right.
stuck. Just gotta see what they opt to do here.
And I mean, we are looking. We see a Valder in Luis's hand there, so
Yeah.
that is a potential Valder
Oh,
play coming up next turn.
What are we thinking? Are we still debating on a block, or?
No, I think Howie's kind of stuck on what to do next. Because the question here, right, would be if you go into Sakuya, there's really no like payoff, right?
Okay,
You
we
go.
do let the swing through.
Okay,
That's what I was trying to figure
Sure.
out, because we were still waiting on the swing to finish resolving.
and that's kind of tough.
So
play out a Digimon. That is tough on Howie's end. Well, add to hand, decides not to play anything out. It looks like.
yeah,
Go ahead
Swing
and
a
attempt to swing
token.
again.
where
Now we do have to remember that this is a minus 5K board. So Shadow Seraphi would
I think
be
he's
sitting
swinging
at Shadow.
over. Yeah, I think he
You're
directed he was
swinging
over the
into
Shadow
Shadow
Yeah,
Seraphi.
I believe so. I believe that is what he's doing.
You know, and I don't think you basically have to choose to block with Dimini, and Dimini also is a lower number.
Yeah.
So do you
will-
sacrifice your Dimini in order to keep your Shadow Seraphi alive, or do you give Howie the memory back from Shadow Seraphi being, oh, we went in security. Okay. Interesting.
I think. Okay. Looks we don't have barrier, do we?
Shadow Seraph?
Yeah, no barrier.
No barrier, no.
Yeah, so I guess
No,
it
no,
was
no.
just into security. We were debating if we wanted to block or not. Okay.
We look at a made mode here.
Which is not bad.
It is not bad.
Yeah. Evil for the 3.
You can go ahead and put a option up to the top of security stack. Go into Sakuya once again. Effect a Sakuya, draw 2, play out another option.
Yeah.
Are we seeing what we need to see? Looks like no, so we'll just kind of let it end there.
Yeah, the Dominion protection is only by effects, not by battle. So if they would remove them via battle, the cards go bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is, I think, not a bad place to be in for Howie, even if we do see a Valder arm play here.
Right.
Because you have to think about it in terms of Luis's perspective. If you Valder here, you end up giving out your Dimini, and now everything's pretty much free to do whatever you want to do in terms of removal, shenanigans, etc.
Oh, he does have barrier. I think
He does
have
have barrier.
Yeah, I think there's barrier there.
Okay. Okay.
That's what they were clarifying. Yeah, they have barrier. That's why. So that's what happened there, folks. Sorry for the confusion.
What's it give? Oh, it's the
Gato inherit with the barrier.
Gato,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah, it was hard to see. That's what I thought too. Just couldn't tell. Okay, so I mean, Luis has to remember the hard part for Luis right now is the fact that he has 0 security. It just puts him in a really he's in a
Yeah.
tight spot. Like it's hard. You don't have any consistent recovery. He's looking at that Cherubi ace,
Just a hard slam it down.
but that's not enough memory.
I don't think that's enough.
He can blow up the the Sakuya board, but that's not enough to do anything because then you have 3 blockers, and I mean Howie just goes up another line and just
Yeah.
goes through you pretty much.
Right.
So it's tough. No rookie to Evo into to get more draw in the back either. Like you can setting up an ace play also doesn't necessarily help either.
Yeah, we're gonna commit to the Truby ace here. Play
Yeah.
that out for 7. Pass over 4. We play out a Gato. Go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. Nuke Sakuya.
Yeah.
We'll gain the overflow, choke into 1. I mean, it's not bad.
The Gato won't stay on the board because of the -5, and that's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is tough. That is tough, but it's now there's 3 blockers and there's 3 bodies that can swing. So if Howie can't get into a Sakuya X to go all the way up, which he has no resources right now in the back to really training or ways up, he's already used a fair amount of them. Obviously, it's the Rikas he can gain memory off of, but he has to. If he can't come to a Sakuya X this turn and keep turn for that final swing, or final couple swings, he's in a rough way.
Well, I will say this too. Valder. I guess if you're in Howie's situation, do you just build in the back and be a little patient?
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting at
You're sitting at 5 security. Even if we go Valder shenanigans, I don't think you lose here.
No, I don't think so either. Well, Alliance 2 checks. Well, yeah, no, he doesn't lose. He doesn't lose yet. So even if Louis,
Even
Luis
if we
Valders.
all live, do the alliance stuff, and then
It's still
go
just not
Valder,
enough.
you
We need
still
one more
not enough.
swing.
Exactly.
yeah.
So do you just take the cautious route here and say, look, we'll just
Well,
wait till
actually,
we're
hold
ready.
on. No, one way it could work out is if Luis does draw a rookie and can just drop it. Because
That's true. Then he can
swing
alliance and
to-
swing, yeah.
Yeah. That's one way around it. But he has to see that piece, which it looks like we were either I didn't see his hand. He either kept a rookie in hand maybe for that thought, or didn't just doesn't have one.
So yeah, this is I think a big moment here for Howie to decide whether he wants to push up or stay in the back. We are gonna stay in the back
Yeah,
and pass turn.
that's fair, and that's completely fair. So now it just comes down to, did Luis see a level 3?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a level 3 and does he have Valder?
Yep.
If he has those 2 pieces,
We know he has Valder. I've seen a
Oh, does he
Valder
have
in
Valder?
his
Okay.
hand. Yeah.
So then if he has a level 3, then yeah, he should just, in theory, have game. But it's just a matter of does he? Does not. It looks like.
Does not look like he has a level
No.
3.
So he can blow out Howie's security, but he can't win, and he'd leave himself unprotected. So he can't really risk any swings now. I think all he can do is just try and build a big board.
Looks like we are gonna go for. We'll do the alliance check with Shadow Seraph.
Yeah. Draw a card.
The double check. First check we knew was a plug-in, which will let him cycle 3.
Yep.
Pick up a Digimon, and then add the plug-in to hand.
Yep.
And then the second check, training.
Training. That's something Howie does want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? Now you left yourself one less blocker. Are you gonna? I guess you can vault or lock down the tokens.
Still
Which is
tall
fair,
order, though.
but it's
And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna Valder here, go into it. Like you said, you could lock down the 2 tokens. You could also lock down Rika's, but I feel like the tokens
Wait,
are the
hold
better
on.
call here. Yeah,
That stack has Alliance. Is there a world?
that stack does have Alliance.
Did we
Holy
draw a 3 off the Evo?
moly.
No, we didn't.
No,
That would have been so funny. Swing Alliance, 3 checks off Valder.
that would be wild. I mean, you have 5 memory. You have 5 memory, so no. Play that out.
Oh wait, never mind. I
Oh.
didn't realize he had 5. Oh, because he gains the 2. We're silly.
Alliance for
yeah,
3 checks.
swing Alliance, 3 checks, and that should just
That
be
should
game.
wrap it up. Oh,
Oh wait. Oh,
-6 on
minus
the Angel monies, cause overflow.
Well, no, it also gives sec -1.
Yeah.
So he just gives sec -1 to the Cherubi, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Let the security go through. That's fine. And then Cherubi. Oh, no. It's just the -6. Never mind. It's just
Yeah.
-6. You're right. I thought I gave sec -1.
Yeah. And
I'm
once-
silly. Is there a
yeah,
different plugin that gives sec -1?
The
Is it recharge?
It's the recharge plugin.
Recharge does?
Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty
never mind.
sure.
Well, that still works.
Yeah.
That still works. That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
But yeah, so he Luis takes it. He
Luis
gets
takes
it.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a really good call. I totally forgot about getting the extra alliance. The Gato down question: how did the Tribune have done only this? It's kids. I can't see the whole full chat, but from what I see you saying there, from what I understand, so there's no rule check in between Cherubi's effect because Cherubi's effect is all part of like the same text box,
Mhm.
right? So when you play out the Gato as part of the effect, you finish resolving the effect before there's any sort of rules to like see that the Gato is being -5K'd and dying. That's why. So that's why he was able to do the -12, and then the Gato immediately gets popped after the fact. It's the same thing with like DP reduction, like the actual thing. Well, yes, it's seeing the game mechanic that should be deleted. There is times where you can get around it certain ways depending on the effect. If it's like if you're only being like at 0 in the middle of an effect,
Right.
then you're fine.
Right.
Like for example, this is a good one
Hmm.
for armors. If you are, let's say you're -5 on a Magnamon, right? If you armor texture to go down into a Vmon,
Mm-hmm.
even though you're -5, the Vmon would normally die because you still have to finish resolving armor texture. You finish going through the effect before the rule check happens. So that's why.
Say that again. Say one more time.
For armor texture?
Yeah. Just remind me, because I think I've been misplaying that.
Well, no, armor digivolution is different.
Okay.
Armor digivolution is different. Armor
Okay.
digivolution, you've been playing that right.
Okay.
Where like basically because you digivolve as part of armor texture after trashing the Magnamon, and you go into another armor during that whole interaction,
Mm-hmm.
the rule check doesn't happen to minus you, right? So if you're a Magnamon, you're -5.
Yeah.
You armor texture,
Mm-hmm.
peel the Magna off. Technically, the Vmon's at 0 DP or -3, whatever. It doesn't actually go to negatives; it goes 0. But because you have to finish resolving armor texture before the rule check can happen to delete the Vmon,
Yeah.
you digivolve off of armor texture into something else,
Yeah.
and unsuspend whatever yada yada. But and then any rule
Right.
checks would happen.
Right. Okay.
So that's how that works. But for like armor evolution, for example, when let's say you get DP reduced down to a Magnamon,
right.
or down or out of your Magnamon, you armor purge down to a Vmon. Armor Digivolution, the option, can't activate because there's a rule check before it can happen.
Right.
So it's not
Okay.
resolving in the
So
middle
I
of an
have
effect.
not been misplaying.
No,
it.
you're fine.
Okay.
You're okay there.
Okay.
I know. I had a feeling that's what you were thinking about. Well, because I thought for a while that maybe was how it worked, where you could Armor Digivolve before because the
Yeah.
effect is seeing
Yeah,
resolution,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
because there's a rule check before the effect actually starts.
Right, right,
It happens
right,
there.
right.
But
Okay.
anyways, so yeah, great play from Luis there. Did really, really well there.
Mhm.
The Valder Arm Tech coming in huge again.
Yeah.
And I think we're
And
moving
honestly,
into
the Magnamon too.
yes.
The Magnamon has been coming up huge.
Yeah. The Magna Angemon with the extra Alliance inherit is massive so far.
Mega Angemon, yeah.
But yeah, again, just shout out to Nerd Rage for hosting this event, for having us on here to yap
Mhm.
for y'all. This has been awesome and super, super fun. I think, are we moving into the final round? Okay, all right. Are we taking a break in between or just going right into it? Okay,
We're
cool.
going straight into the finals here. It's
All
going
right.
to be Noah versus Louise.
Yes.
So 2 players who've been doing extremely well, as we've seen multiple rounds today. I think it's going to be one heck of a match.
Agreed.
I think a very grindy one.
Yeah. Angels versus Royal Knights is going to be
It's going to be a
interesting.
slugfest.
Yes.
It's going to be just punch for punch, seeing what they can do. So this should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. You know, Noah's been cooking all day.
Yeah.
Luis, we saw at the start of the day. It feels fitting to end the day with him too.
Exactly.
But I have to assume. I mean, like all the Omni X is probably going to be the Omni X and the Oryukin Ace are both just such powerhouses in that deck that
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see how Luis deals with that. Right?
Yes.
The minus 15K you can't get around.
You can't get around
That's just
that.
tough. There's no Domini's protection is not going to keep you safe from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Omni X, like even though like you can technically burn a security to protect yourself from the bottom deck, Omni X can just then raid into you. End of turn, right? If you don't, and then you have to block with something
Well,
else.
And Medieval's also a card as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Medieval is also a good card. And then on top of all that too, like you have things like even like Shadow Seraphic, you can't digivolve most of the Royal Knights. Like you're really like the -5 won't always stop them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this goes.
I want to say on initial sort of like peruse or like preview, right? I would want to think that Royal Knights has the more favorable matchup.
Yeah.
I would say it's a slim favorable matchup, but still favored nonetheless, just with how much of a response you have. Angels has its way to claw back and do some annoying things, but I think their game plan is still pretty much Angels. So if Noah can find a way around this, then I think this matchup could go in his way.
Yeah.
Sort of like what we saw him do against Exa.
Yeah. So Noah's starting us here. Does have it looks like a pretty okay hand, so just starts off with a cool boy.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't mind that one bit.
All right, so we see a Pata on Louisa's side, which is a good start, and then a TK is also a very good start.
Yeah, get that
making
security
sure-
info. All right, do we have a 4 in there? We do have a Gato at the very
Yeah.
least. We have a Magna Ange out. That's pretty good. Yeah, recover shuffle. All right, so we know that Pata's going to net +2 memory. So we know that pretty much next turn he's looking at effectively 5 memory.
Yeah.
Assuming that's what he goes into.
Just drop another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just see what got put in
Just
there.
cycle through security.
Grab
pick
the
up at the mini, yeah.
there's a Shadow Seraphi in there as well, and an Angelomon Ace. So that security's loaded. That security has a lot, exactly what Luis needs. I think.
Because, I mean, what could easily happen is you just go ahead, push Pata up, right, go into the Gato, swing with barrier, yeet the top card, put into the mini underneath. You
Right.
could Evo Magna Ange, you could slam down Magna Ange. You can do a lot of things with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different avenues to play right now this next turn. So whatever Noah does, he has to be he has to be cautious to a decent degree, but he also
Right.
just kind of like needs to, give as few resources as possible, which, it's
Easier
hard.
said
I
than
was a
done.
hammer setter. Yeah. So we just gotta see what he decides to do here.
Purge
Yeah, just purge early.
will be for 4 cost.
Mm-hmm.
See a Medieval here, and we can tuck something underneath.
Which is pretty good. Yeah. Just tuck in
Tuck in
Omeka.
Omeka.
Sure.
We see an Omni X in hand as well already, too.
Yeah. Now what do we do?
Just pass.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, just saving your pieces for that kind of to try and clap something rather than risking it just getting deleted before it gets anything actually, done. So we do go into the Gato. We can place a card off a Pata effect, finishing resolving that, which we have plenty of choices. Domini gets that tucked. We'll gain 2 memory. Oh man. I'm getting flashbacks to when I played Armor Vaccine. I haven't played Pata in so long.
Now what do we do here? Do we just Evo, hard Evo into a Magna Ange here?
Go for 4. You can choke to 1 off going into Domini. That's in security.
Play out on Angelomon Ace that
Right.
we saw there.
We'll swing with the barrier like you were thinking.
Mhm.
We'll add top card to hand.
I'm
with the
assuming
top
you just
one.
go Domini into there,
Yeah,
right?
just put 'em
Because
in
if you're
there.
going to Evo into him.
Right. Does the check.
Last Guardian.
Okay.
Okay.
That's pretty good. For
Go ahead, play out a Cool Boy Onomeka, but unfortunately nothing to play. Oh, no, sorry.
No, yeah, you can play the
Stupid.
cool
You can
boy,
play the Mecha there. Yep. So Magna Enter 4 here.
Yeah.
We know what he's going to go into because he just put it in there. So, yep, no point in kind of doing the shenanigans. Go into
Yeah.
Domini. Domini effect.
Well,
Go ahead.
needs to place a card for Magna Edge. Needs to finish resolving that.
Yeah.
Let's see what he places. Yeah, we'll place another Magna Edge in there.
Oh, boy.
And then,
Double Domini.
okay, so we are going to do it. Yeah, I mean, might as well set up the double Domini. You know that Angelomon Ace in there still for you. Yep, go into it for another 2. Draw for the Evo.
That's some high roll there. Because that Domini wasn't in there. I think he
placed it. He placed it off. He placed.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, Truby Ace is in hand, too. Man, that's this looking pretty tasty. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Tuck the True Ace in there. Play out the Angelomon.
Ace. And that is a board state.
Yeah, and so now we're working off 2 Dominis. So the protections are extra hard to deal with. Ace threat is still very much alive. So this is
that is
interesting
wild
spot.
that we raised a Pata and we have 2 Dominis and an Angelomon Ace.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And all just only giving Noah 3. It was effectively for 7 memory. Is all he really ended up. Or sorry, 8
people
memory.
want a Mirage.
Okay, so what do you do? I think did he draw an Oryukin Ace?
No, was it?
I think I saw
Did
a
it?
flash of one in hand. I feel like I recognize that foil in anywhere. Yeah, he does. Yep, there's one right there in the middle.
And there it is.
So he could drop that minus 15, blow up one of them. Although I think if you do it, I think you. Oh,
It's
hard.
tough.
It's tough.
It is tough.
It's tough.
Having the second one out was tough.
Well, because
Having to only deal with one is a lot more manageable here.
it's just the decision of do you do it to nuke the Angelomon Ace to get rid of the Ace threat,
Mm-hmm.
or do you just do it over a Dominion and just clear one right now? Just deal with it. Like, does that do enough to like warrant like that?
You could do it for the get rid of the Angelomon Ace, and then you have a Medieval in hand.
Oh, Goats is actually really nice too.
Go to would be nice. You could Medieval too. Medieval's not a bad call, I would say.
Medieval force something to pop,
Mm-hmm.
swing an alliance into something.
Mm-hmm. But the
Yeah,
thing
when
is,
you
if you
risk ace.
yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, I mean, if you Oryukin first, right? Oryukin
Oh,
first,
sure,
get rid of a body, but
sure.
then you're forced to suspend your own Oryukin Ace, so then you lose the alliance there.
Yeah. And
So
I have to imagine Noah probably has not played this matchup very often. Angels is a very rare deck to be played nowadays,
Yeah.
let alone go this far usually. So I'm sure there's probably a fair bit of navigating. Like, okay, what do I do with this deck against it? Because I know I'm sure he's played against it in the past with Diaboro and stuff. Okay, sure, that's fair. That's fair. We do have Last Guardian, so even an Ace play won't necessarily stop. So, okay, we'll attempt to bot deck 1. We'll burn. Angelomon will recover. And then swing Raid into the Domini,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming. Yep, we'll swing and Raid.
We're gonna do the Ace play here.
Yeah.
We got Cherubi.
Truby will play out a fella.
Mm-hmm. Play out Gato. Go ahead, attempt to nuke up Omni.
Minus 12. It's only for the turn at least.
Yeah. And Omni's still alive, so you don't have to worry about that.
Question is, do we Last Guardian here? Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Just keep yourself a big 16K fella just chilling. Okay, but this just got really scary though now, right?
This got very, very
This is
scary.
a lot of damage that Luis can pull out. We've already seen what he can do with the Valderarm as well. I mean, this is swing Alliance for 2 checks, Valderarm 2 checks. He has game potentially on board. If all he needs to do is just be able to get past the Omni, which he very well can. Ideally, suspend it first, or just
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yep.
That.
Yep.
That might just do it
Yippers.
there.
That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. I would have assumed this would be the double Domini play just changed so much.
The double Domini definitely changed the tide of the game for sure.
Nukes the rest. Well,
Pata effect will resolve too.
Catalyst Raffus, and now we know there's another ace.
Oh my gosh.
Good to go. But you know what? We can't doubt Noah. Noah has.
We can't doubt Noah. You will
he's-
gain 2 memory off of that Pada and Gato inherit, or Gato and Pada, right? So choke to 1.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's really good.
As good as you could want it.
So what do you do here if you're Noah? Right? Like, do you or you can ace? I think has to hit the board this turn. It's just a matter of what you target with it.
I don't know, man. I'm honestly here.
Like, you have to. I'm assuming you would pop. Okay, here's the thing. You can actually pop that Cherubi ace stack without spending it. Because you pay the 9, you'll overflow 7 and gain 1 off a cool ball. You can play it for 1.
Yes.
So you could
Yes.
potentially do that, not burn your cost reduction just yet, and maybe find cost reduction somewhere else to do damage. But even then, it's still such a
It's a very
it's
tough,
a big board fit to
tough-
come back from. Okay,
Yeah, this is a Wargrowl.
Wargrowl ace. That's another thing as well.
Man, Angels.
He could use that to pop the Pada and the Gato after the fact, so he can
Mhm.
potentially he can clear 3 things off the board, but that's still I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second Luis finds Valder, I think it's pretty cooked. Rush Gallon as well is another option, but it's not. You're only gonna pop the Pada first. You're not gonna. Everything else is only 12K. They're too
Yeah.
small, so you won't get there. Okay, we are thinking about the Wargrowl ace here first.
It's an interesting.
Okay, drop it for 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, pop those 2.
And calls it a day there. Interesting.
So this is where I think that some matchup knowledge is coming into play, where I don't think Noah realizes Cherubi Ace Alliance shenanigans that can happen. I don't think he's seen Luis's Valder. So
No,
this game
no.
1 is going to be very revealing for Noah, and Noah's going to have to really learn to play from there. But let's see if Luis finds the Valder. Did you say he had it?
Well, do you even need the Valder? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 4 security.
Oh, yeah, true. He did do a chip
Just go boop, boop,
already.
boop, boop.
Yeah, didn't he?
Yeah.
I forgot he did a check and hit a. Yeah, so never mind. So yeah, he just alliances twice and then just swings with the Angemon for game.
Yeah.
Because there's no level 6 ace.
There's no
that-
level 6 A's. There's nothing in security big enough to crash into it. There's no options that are gonna
Yeah,
be
alliance is pretty safe here. We do just drop a Pada just to
just for the extra alliance.
make sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean that way you don't have to burn a Dimini for alliance. You just burn a Pada for
Well,
alliance.
I don't think you burn the Pada for alliance. You're too small swinging. in
Oh, sure,
security. You
sure,
risk dying in
sure.
battle and overflowing. So yeah, we
Fair.
will swing. Yeah, alliance will be 22K or 24K rather for 2
Yeah.
checks.
Cool
Just a
boy.
cool boy. Oh wait, we're so silly. Omeka Omni X. That's what he's looking for.
But Dimini.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if Noah realizes.
Okay. We'll play out this. So we'll finish resolving effects. I mean, by the looks of his face, I think he knows his curtains. But let's see what he'll end up doing. We played out the Omeka.
Oh, do we not have an Omni X even to do anything with?
Omeka's just a blocker then?
Yeah, I think he's just a blocker. The Pada can't swing. Luis doesn't have. Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah, the one blocker looks like it's messing Luis up. Looks like he doesn't have a Valder to get around it. So he's realizing now, he's like, okay, yeah, even if I swing with that Dimini, I just get blocked and I can't do anything. The Mecha will just go right back under. But it's such a hard spot for Noah. Like, his one saving grace is that I think that Wargrowl, does he do anything else other than the
Scramble
Encore?
into Magna Ange.
Do we have a piece to
Do we have a
go
piece
into?
that? Oh,
No.
we don't.
No, we do not. So this is going to be curious to see how they move from here. I need to see for the Wargrowl ace. Okay, the memory gain's all part of the same effect, so we can't. It's not like a separate thing where he gains memory for things deleted. Because that could have also been another kind of big thing for him. So what
This
do we
is
do?
interesting. Okay.
Angemon, pass over to 2. Yeah, I mean, we have 2 ace threats on board, right? Like you can go into a 5 ace or a 6 ace.
Yeah.
Here, the mini protections are still very much live. You can't deal with all of them.
And you have nothing in sources for in yourself.
Like the one saving grace would have been if there was only one Dimini, or you can ace and then reduce play an Omni X maybe over a Nomeka, but we don't have an Omni X, which is bad. because we lost that early. We have the Oryukin Ace, but that's not going to do enough work right now. Like, you have to clear so many cards off this board. And Noah, I think, is probably... I'm sure the realization setting in of, like, okay, I don't think I can actually answer this, but I just need to see if there's what I can do.
Yeah.
Because this is a decent time to test interactions, but just make sure you don't take too long to the point where you cost yourself a game 3, because that's realistically what you're going to need to go to now in order to win.
Play Lord Knight out for 2, affect a Lord Knight.
Oh, I see. We're hoping we draw into it, maybe? No
No.
dice. We'll play out the Omeka, though. Redirecting 2 blockers, but that's still not enough.
It's still not enough. You could hard play a Magna for 7, have yourself another blocker.
But that's not.
But that's
not
not
gonna matter.
enough.
There's so much memory on.
Yeah, this is a tough spot.
Oh, we didn't have Oryukin Ace. That was the.
That was a War Growl Ace.
That was Wargreis signing in hand. Okay, it just looked like Oryukin Ace to me. I'm silly. So even more so, all the reasons it's just like this is tough. There's really not much you can do.
I think he's stuck here. Just go 2 for 3.
Yeah, just play it out.
And that's a board.
Yeah.
That is a board.
At this point now, you just swing. I mean, does he have? No, he does no GX Ace either. There's no Ace threat at all. Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe there's a GX Ace, but no, then we just mini anyways protect.
Yeah.
So at this point, I mean, I think you just swing.
That is, yeah. That's the thing with Angels, right? Is that once they stick, it's a hard time peeling them off, and before you know it, you're staring game in the face.
It gets out of control very quickly. You have to be able to answer that Domini the second he hits the board, usually, or hope that they're like they didn't see a 5 in security, or they're losing some gas.
You have to hope that they brick to some degree, and I think Luis has been very consistent all day on. You know, he's done very, very well in making sure that his game plan works. So Mecha will block. Domini, I think you just go through the motions, right? You just swing. I don't really see a world where Noah gets out of this one. You have 1 block, 1 redirect.
Yeah. And tuck a Strafi in there.
And Luis has
gained some memory.
What?
Because of the
4 checks left.
Yeah. Very much so. Block with that Omeka. We still have the 11k redirect, but that's not enough to matter for anything here. Swing.
Yeah, you don't have another Omeka to play out either off of this. You redirect into the Lord Knight. Can't play anything out. Go Trubia.
Okay, I'm going to go next. Okay, so Noah, I'm sure, is probably like, okay, that's a lot of work I got to do.
Yeah.
Luis kind of high rolling a little bit. Seeing double Domini was massive. I think that was the biggest game changer, because at that point, Noah just did not have a way of trying to deal with everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like ace plays aside as well. So I'm curious to see how Noah adapts. And Luis seemed like he was pretty comfortable, though. It seems like he's probably played this. It felt like he probably played this matchup a little bit before.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, because Royal Knights has been around for another meta, right? It's been around for a couple months now. I'm sure you've practiced against it.
Yeah.
The deck hasn't changed terribly much, if at all, since BT21 dropped. So yeah, I mean, this is curious, because we talked a lot about some of these fresh decks coming out with this new set, and here we are in the finals.
2 old decks with Royal Knights with the support it got in 20, and Angels just
with the support it got in BT18.
Didn't even
2.0.
Didn't even get support. It's all just old cards. It's all 15 and EX6.
I mean, this is pretty much a Nats list.
It's all EX6 cards.
Yeah,
this
is what you would play in Nats. That's crazy.
I don't think there's anything new in there. It's all TKs, Padas.
Well, the new Magna Angemon. That's the only.
I get, the adventure. There. Yeah, which I guess has made the difference in a couple of times here. Just giving that extra check. Yeah, that's true. The adventure, Magna Ange. But otherwise, I think it's all just old cards. All right. So it looks like Luis is starting us off. Does just see the paddle right away, which is really good for him. How's Noah's hand looking? Noah have a better hand this time?
I mean, to be fair, I don't know if his hand was ever bad last turn.
He was missing some outs at the very least, which was pretty tough.
You can just drop a Magna here.
Yeah, I think you just drop the Magna and maybe pass, call it a day. What else do you really threaten here? You don't really want to risk like doing too much else, I don't think.
The problem is you don't want to give up too much memory either.
Right.
From Noah's
Right.
perspective.
Which realistically, like, you might have to
'Cause-
pass if you drop that Magna. Which he's looking at now, he's just like, I don't have anything I can do after I drop
Because
that.
you're reducing by 5. Lord Knight would play out for 6. You know, you can drop the 9 cost, but that typically is reserved for more delicate situations, and then we do end up just passing.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, you at least get a draw if something happens to the Magnamon,
Yeah.
right? So that's something. No 4.
We went
No
from high
4.
roll to Brick City.
Now that is huge for Noah.
Yeah.
And the only 5 in there was the whatchamacallit, the Magna, the Adventure Magna. Henge.
Yeah.
Does he
Yeah.
not- does he have a full-
Ante's right. Angels is
no
great.
4 in hand. No 4. Oh, we're thinking about
Oh.
hard dropping the Domini, I think.
I mean, it's a play. It's definitely a play. Well, no, there's a 4.
Oh yeah, it's Angemon right there.
Yeah.
I'm blind.
There's
But
a
it's
4
still
and an
tough.
Andromon
It's
Ace.
still tough because he goes Angemon and then like he has Angemon Ace and that's about it.
And there
Okay,
it is.
does draw into a Magna Henge. Can go into
Well,
Domini and security.
okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Never mind.
That's crazy lucky. The top deck goes crazy. Luis literally just digging himself out. Can then place Angemon Ace in there, player out. Yep. -6, -7. We do get the draw. We do get the shuffle. And that's about it.
Man, I don't want to play against more Angels, man. Don't do this to me.
I don't think this is going to make more people play Angels. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm talking about tomorrow, brother.
That's what I'm saying, though. I don't think people are going to be on it too much. I think Luis is the only person that's on it right now. Oh. Okay.
Now what? From Noah's perspective, now what? You know, I mean, I think.
You have the okay. So he has a couple of plays, right? We know he has Medieval Gallon in hand, so he could suspend things, force a purge, and then just swing and then vortex into the Angemon Ace. Obviously, Ace threat's still very real.
Yeah.
But that's maybe one avenue of play that he just tries to risk.
Right. We also, I believe, we have a GX Ace in hand too. Yeah. So you can tuck the Magnamon underneath potentially to try to, again, like you said, force the purge and then play out the Medieval Gallon. But at that point, at this early phase in the game, you're passing out a lot of memory.
I probably wouldn't do that. I would probably, if anything, I would drop the Magnamon and then just use that as an alliance target.
Yeah.
Use that as an alliance target to swing and vortex into the Domini or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there's no blocks going to happen. You can't get de-digivolved. Like, really, the only thing that stops it is a Cherubi Ace.
Right.
That is literally it.
And yeah, it looks like exactly what Noah is thinking. We're going to drop the Medieval here for 7.
Yeah, so
suspending both bodies there. Force a purge.
Attempt to pop her. Yep. Force the burn.
Okay.
Covers 1. Vortex Alliance into the Domini. It does not have barrier.
Does not have barrier.
We do have a Cherubi Ace.
But does that matter?
Yeah, it does. Because he's at 18.
You're going to nuke him by, what, 8 if you play something out?
Yeah, minus him by 8 by playing out
So
a 4,
now
which
you're
he
at
does
10.
have. Yep. So
now he
10.
dies.
Yeah,
That's
no,
tough.
I just having to.
That's tough.
I mean, it's the one Cherubi Ace he had in hand. That's all he had in hand was just that one. It's
Hey,
still
man.
crazy that Luis found his way out of a brick and got his way up there.
Sometimes when it's your day, it's your day.
Yeah,
You just got to, it is what it is.
and that's tough. Now that Magnamon's not protecting anything, we have wider board now for Angels.
I mean, you could easily Evo into Magna Eng again if you have a Domini. If you can get
Yeah.
Domini into security or you
yeah.
have one, you just slap that guy in there.
And we know there's
This is scramble.
I think there's one other level 6 in there too. Yeah, there's a lot. Luis has a lot of different options he can go with right now.
Alliance check here for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Purge just goes to battlefield. Still big enough.
Yeah, he's 18, so he's fine. But Purge doesn't do anything.
Domini
'cause
swings over, which is smart.
Yeah, one attacking at top card, which is a Pata. That's really good for Luis.
Puts
Tuck
in
Domini.
Oh, here we go. Double Diminis. We got to put back on the board again.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, go pat on the back at the extra draw. Magna Ange.
Here we go.
Go there for a 3. You can scramble it too if you want.
It's
Or just
hard
drop.
play it.
Sure.
Choke to 3.
Just establish an even wider board that's harder to answer.
This is well played by Angels.
Yeah, Luis is playing it extremely
He's
well.
playing it very, very well.
Does he have a 5? I guess you just place the Magna Ange in there. Sure.
Do you just play it again?
Play
Do you
it.
have a
Play out the Adventure Angel on
Yeah.
Magna Ange. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's safe.
That's safe. You ace over it, has another route to alliance as
Yeah.
well. Like it's just a very good line that he's seeing here.
All right, so it's double Domini time, so that's tough. Noah.
I mean, Luis is sitting pretty here. He's in a very, very good
Yeah,
spot.
yeah. Noah does finally have an Oryukin ace, but I think it's too little, too late.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I mean, he can reduce the play cost of it, drop it for 1. He could blow up the Cherubi and gain 7, go up to 9, but we're just putting him at 9, take him from there, I guess.
Right, because that essentially just allows you to play another Royal Knight for cost.
Right. Yeah.
You
But
know,
you need some sort of means of dealing with these Dominis on the board while also controlling the wide board as well. It's a tall order. There's too many bodies on board at this point. I don't like Royal Knights already typically kind of struggled with wide boards a bit. Like, it's and this is even harder when they're this big of bodies to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
That also just have protections. Looks like he's considering. Is that another Medieval Gallant? That is another Medieval Gallant.
So yeah, we will play the Oryukin ace, it looks like here. We're reducing by 7, so it would be a 2-cost
Now,
drop.
the one good thing is that off of the Medieval Gallant, he will gain memory from the Alpha. He'll gain
Correct.
extra memory off of that too. So there is actually a decent amount that Noah can actually kind of cook with here. So drop her for 1. Okay, we are going to get rid of 1 Domini.
Okay. Minus 15.
All right, now what do we do?
The scary part is that Magna Ange. That's a viable ace threat as well. You drop the Medieval here, suspending both of Luis's bodies for 7.
Yeah,
And I think that's probably your best bet.
I agree.
Now,
Suspend those 2. You attempt to pop something.
I would target either Domini or Cherubi here. Force Luis to purge. Right?
Yeah.
Now, Luis could also just say, no, I'm not going to purge. You could gain the overflow, but turn would pass over. You vortex. That's another play, but I feel like okay.
Attempt to pop that will burn.
Now, security's removed from Noah should catch the Oryukin here. Do we catch it?
Still deciding, it looks like. Oh, man. Security got removed from. Surely Noah catches it, right?
Or is he just kind of flustered here?
He might be scrambling a little bit. That 3 memory is going to be a big make or break, I think, too.
That
which
3
is
memory is
tough.
huge for him right now because that could swing back turn depending on what gets popped and whatnot. I think we're gonna miss out on it.
Alliance swing in there, past turns, let the Dominions go bye-bye. That is tough. Yeah, that 3 memory is huge. We really needed to gain that. It's mandatory, too. We shouldn't miss it.
Because again, if Pata pushes up, you're gonna remove something from security potentially, which we don't, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Peta pushes up. So here's the thing now. Luis is still in a pretty, okay spot.
Yeah.
Like, he still has a lot of aggression on the
Absolutely,
board.
absolutely.
He has still enough memory to do some nutty things. Dominis are gone, but we do know that Noah also has the GX Ace, which Medieval Gallant's perfect for right now.
Yes. Absolutely.
We have to
So this is a good back and forth right here.
yeah, there's a chance that Noah can come back into this. It is a bit of a toughie. Because Luis also could just swing an alliance into the Oryukin Ace.
Mm-hmm.
And get a bunch of memory back, which I'm assuming is what's happening.
We're looking at the GX Ace here.
You don't GX Ace yet because you can't pop that Cherubi. It's too big.
It's too big. The only reason you do it would be to pop the other body.
Would they? Well, they wouldn't lose the DP though, would they?
No. The the unsuspended body, whether it's the Pata or the Angemon, and just
sure.
force him to. I think you pop the Angemon here and just force Luis to climb and probably pass turn. But then the problem is you're gonna gain the memory back from the Oryuken, which should be more than enough memory to do
Yeah.
shenanigans.
To me, I would have waited until after the swing to try and pop the Cherubi Ace on another swing after the fact.
Yeah.
To try and like just force a turn to pass over,
Sure,
maybe.
absolutely. Gets deleted, gets put to top card of security.
Oh no, he did go into security.
Oh, okay.
Will overflow 3.
We'll flow, yeah, from the Oryuken here.
And now this puts
This puts Luis in a weird spot now,
it's
too.
in a very different spot now. What is that a Volder in hand? What is
That's
that?
a Volder.
Okay.
Okay.
Last check.
Play out anything. You have an Omeka there that you could play out. On play, draw one. This
think
is
you
not
have
the
to.
blocker Omeka, but
You have to.
it is an extra check that he's able to do.
And then what do we do?
Just hard
Evo?
Evo.
But I think we're realizing that even if we suspend stuff, it doesn't matter. Okay, we are gonna do it with
Make it a little bit cheaper.
scramble.
Make it for 2, 3.
Suspend the Omeka. And then.
Gain the 1 back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so Noah's down to no security. The Oryuken and the GX are both going to get tucked in.
On play effects don't proc because
Correct.
of Elder Arm, which is tough.
Yeah, no on play is big. It's very, very difficult. So it means that if he wants to answer that body, he needs to go over it. He needs to swing over it just straight up, while there's an ace start on board still, though, which is tough.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, GX Ace is still pretty good here. GX Ace, you can purge it out. You can swing over the Volder and do a and on when attacking effect, pop the Angemon.
Why Medieval Gallant trash?
Hmm?
Why is Medieval Gallant gone?
Because it was over. GX Ace was over it.
Oh, sorry. I'm still, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, because Omeka left here. I was like, wait, what's going on?
No, I literally think his best line of
Yeah,
play
yeah.
is to purge out the GX Ace, just swing Tucker Royal Knight,
Right.
pop the Magna Ange so there's no ace threat, and then go over the Volder at 16 and just overflow 7, and then from there work on getting rid of the Pata.
Right.
Because on plays don't happen right now, which hopefully he doesn't
Exactly, yeah.
miss.
Yeah, you just got to sit and think about it here.
Because there's a chance where Noah misplays here and doesn't realize about the on plays. Because I don't know how much he's played into Volder Arm. He's looking at the Omni play, thinking about it, I think. Okay, now he's looking at his GX Ace. I just want to see game 3. That's what I want to see. At the very least, take it to a game 3. This is tough. Luis's in there, still a really good spot. It's not bad by any means.
As you said, I think that is your best bet. Looks like Noah is seeing it. We'll
Yeah.
play out the GX Ace.
Mm-hmm. Because on plays don't matter for this. You know, you don't get on play off of Purge anyways.
Yeah.
And there's no level 4 aces that Patamon's going to cause us to worry about. The only issue, and then he can drop the War Growl to deal with the Pata too. Actually, after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can wipe the board here, set up a situation where like Luis can scramble, sure, but Luis won't be able to get rushed to swing anywhere.
Yeah. So go ahead and swing. Use the GX Ace effect to tuck a Magna underneath to pop the Magna Ange, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. That's the correct play to do, at least. If he doesn't do that, then he's putting himself in a pretty tough spot. Because an ace play could do a lot right now.
Shadow Seraphic would just end him.
Yes. Yeah, he would lose turn. Okay, he's swinging.
Oh,
he does
okay,
just swing
just swinging.
over. Or is that the one attacking? Where is he? Okay, what just
Where is he
happened?
swinging?
Oh, does it only pop for every 2?
No, you trash security for every 2.
Right.
So yeah, they're doing the check now. Oh no, they're swinging into it.
Okay.
Okay, so he swung into the Magna Ange, popped the Volder,
Yeah.
gained the memory back.
Yes. Okay.
Now you can do some stuff. I mean, you've got 10 memory. You haven't cost reduced yet. Oh.
Okay.
Hmm.
Why?
Interesting.
I'm confused.
I am very confused.
I don't know
right
if
now, too.
is there something we're missing? Because I feel like you just dropped the War Ace, no?
I
Drop
feel
the
War
Wargall
Ace
Ace?
would be better to get rid of the Peta.
Because you know there's an Angemon in that security
Yeah.
that he can digivolve
Right,
into.
and GX Ace also, correct me if I'm mistaken, should also be...
GX should unsuspend. Also
Correct.
true. Yeah, GX should unsuspend.
Oh,
Oh, Valderarm. We forgot about that.
we're good at this game.
We forgot about that. True. No, chat. You know what? Chat baited us. Demonic and Locks, you should be ashamed. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, the redirect setup is good. Choking to 1 is good. It's all nice.
And you can't proc scramble to play stuff out, which is
you just put a card on
fair.
top, but he can put a Domini on top and still just use the Pata to evo into something in the security, gain the memory. Yeah, here we
Here we
a
go.
little bit of something. So I have to wonder if it would have been because we didn't use our cost reduction.
Okay.
Did we?
We didn't.
No.
That's
So
what I was saying initially. You
yeah,
haven't
our
used the
cost reduction was still
yet.
live, which I think Noah maybe just didn't think about. Maybe he forgot because he could have just dropped the War Growl, popped, and then cost reduced the Lord Knight onto the board and still had a redirect set up.
Yeah. But we go into an Angemon here.
Because the risk is now is that this can swing, and we only have the one redirect.
That's exactly what you were worried about, right? Domini goes back into security. You have the Magna Angemon in hand now, so now you can easily go into that Domini that was played out on your back to kind of square one all over again. We have a very, very sticky board state that can only get worse.
It's tough. It's tough. Yeah, that might have been a bit of a blunder that costs Noah. But maybe Noah was also worried about the War Guardians getting popped by Dominion and having more memory to work with. But at least it wouldn't have been able to swing. I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like it would have been a better play. You could have gotten more cards on the board, which is not. It was usually a good thing.
This is also a very tough matchup to kind of forecast, right? Because there's so many different lines of play that players can go into.
Absolutely.
So we do see the Domini come out here. We'll go into that for 2. Use effect here to resolve Magna Ange first.
What do you do? Place the Shadow Seraphi in there?
I mean, you don't have a level 5 to place in there. I feel like maybe, yeah, might as well.
Place that in, and then all you have is the Magna Ange that can play out, right?
You can go, yeah. You can choose to Evo if you would like to. I doubt there's a world where you do
I mean,
it.
he can go into Shadow Seraphi for 2.
Digivolve the GX.
Yeah, and then put it down to... Oh, that's spooky.
It is very spooky.
Okay, we are just minusing 7 on the Lord Knight, it looks like.
He's thinking about it.
Oh, he has Cherubi.
He's thinking about it, but
there's still no swings.
Ooh,
Yeah, so we go
okay.
Cherubi here, we draw, but I don't think he has anything in hand he can play out.
I don't remember the Luxmon.
Yeah, I guess just the Lux. Okay, put another Cherubi Ace in there, so there's no ace threat. Drop the Lux. Minus Lord Knight the rest of the way.
Andromon Ace.
Okay. But there's no swing that can happen here. Those all go bye-bye. GX Ace is going to get tucked. So what do we do? Where do we go from here? We don't have that much cost. We're only reducing by 9 at the moment. We have a lot of memory. On plays can happen. Oh, we have the Omni.
Yeah.
We have BT13 Omni.
Yeah.
You just drop it, put yourself to... I think that's what you do. Right? BT13 Omni. On play, drop. You just minus 15 on the Domini or the Cherubi. It doesn't matter, really. Do either or. They're both giving blocker, so you'd still need to deal with either or, but you can do it.
Well, then GX Ace on play would happen as well, too, to potentially pop another body.
Oh, yeah, true. He'll pop something. So you just minus 15,
So,
pop
I mean,
Domini,
I think the
GX Ace, pop
BT13
the
Omni
thing.
is the
Yeah,
play
I think you just
here.
win. Because then he should be able to swing for four swings. Drops it for 5, right?
Right.
Looks like he's thinking about it.
Well, then GX Ace also would trash security depending on how many Royal Knights you have in there too. So you could even, you know,
Yeah.
I think Omni is the play here.
Although I think GXS is only a once per turn, so he'd only be able to get one on the turn.
Sure. Okay. So we will drop the Omni, play out all the bodies there. All right. So we'll target the deletion there from Oryukin minus 15 on Domini.
Yep. Which will place a card back.
Uh-huh.
And that's,
Andromanes.
yeah, that's fine. I don't think no one particularly cares about that. And then you GX Ace on play something.
To pop Cherubi Ace.
Yep. Overflow 4.
And now you've
And-
got 4 bodies that can swing and 3 security left.
Yeah, so we should just...
Well played by Noah.
Yeah, did really good. He'll swing. He'll gain 3 more memory for security getting removed from.
Just dies.
Yeah, and so we should move to a game 3 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, swing, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, game 3.
Game 3 it is.
Luis is making Noah work for it, bro.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job. Luis is cooking. He's doing really well with his angel stuff. But Noah again just jaws the defeat, managing to find another way out every time. It
Yeah.
always comes down to that last turn. So we're going to a game 3, folks.
Game 3 it is, and we love our game 3s.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
we
do.
love our game 3s.
Good way to end the day too. Good way
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
last match.
Absolutely. I mean, this is high quality play here.
Yeah, for sure. They're doing very good. Doing very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, for the majority of that match, it felt like Luis was sort of on the front foot.
Yeah, he's in the driver's seat.
He was
I
in
felt
the
like
driver's seat.
match
It
was
really
very
felt
much
like
being decided by
Noah
what he
was
doing.
really on the back foot trying to just stay alive.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't feel like overwhelming control from Royal Knights like we're used to. It felt like he was scrambling just to put
Yeah,
together what he
yeah.
could.
Yeah. But GX Ace was coming in clutch. GX
Yeah.
Ace and the Oryukin Ace.
No, for sure, absolutely. All right, it's getting set up here. That is, it's not a great starting hand. I would probably
Yeah.
mulligan that. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah. Oh no, we're gonna keep it. Okay. This is why Noah plays Royal Knights and I don't.
This is why he's at the
Also
final
true.
round.
Also true. Why I'm the one.
And we're
yapping.
just here yapping.
Luis has a good start. Some
Yeah,
good
that's a
surge.
very good start.
Is that a Voltorm to the bottom though? I think that was
I
a
didn't
Vol-
see.
or was it an Angel Monace? I couldn't tell. I saw like a little ring texture and that's about it. Okay.
You drop a cool boy, choke to 1.
Cool boy Gotsu, call it a day. Is that what you do?
Oh, you're at 3 or 4 memory here.
He's at 3.
So yeah, you just drop a cool boy, choke to 1.
Yeah, that's fair. Pata push up. Then there's Pata whiff. Pata does whiff again.
Yeah, yeah.
Tough. But we saw, I think there was a Mem Boost and a Scramble. I think 2 Magna Anges and
Mhm.
then a Truby Ace, I believe, is what was in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty decently stacked security. We don't have a Dominion hand, but that's never stopped us before. But we will pass turn if we Evo at this point, which is really big for Noah. Noah needs to find this chance to do his thing, to try and
Yeah.
take advantage of this game.
Right. Okay.
Choke to 1, which is pretty good. So what do we do? I mean, would you just Jesmon? Just drop Jesmon?
I think you drop the Jesmon, get rid of the
Poppy,
Angemon.
yeah.
Yes, you give him a security back, but you don't really care about that right now.
Yeah.
You just want to focus on controlling board.
Yeah.
It's also really, I wouldn't say crazy, but it's interesting to see like how big of a difference that like the Memset TK was.
No, it's huge.
You know, like turn 1, getting that out for an Angels player
Yeah.
changes the dynamic of their play so much. Drop the, drop
drop
that,
it
drop the
for
token,
effectively
and get
4.
rid of Angemon.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair. And now we have that token set up on board for some blocker. The Luxmon is at least somewhere to start. We do have another Pata at least for Luis. So that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He can find his way back up. And now he does have a level 4 in security. So he is,
Yeah.
next time he pushes up, he can definitely start cooking. Just needs to find his way there. So now what do we do? Looks like he's just trying to debate. I mean, he could. there's not really any like control he has in his hand here, so I don't know what you like do.
You see a Gato that you can evo.
But that doesn't really help us
It
much.
really does not right now. We drop an Andromon Ace.
Choke to 1 again. That's fair. Burn top minus 6k on the token, so it'll die. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fair. That's a good call.
Yeah.
It's a very good play. Set up her for later as well. Of course, she has no protection right now, which is also in itself pretty dicey.
Yep.
If we have another
Oh,
Jessmon or something,
Yeah. We see the Oryukin Ace there as well.
it might be a little bit early for that. I don't know if we want to save that for a Demi.
I would definitely save that.
But
We're
you
reducing
do.
by 5, 6, 7, 8.
You definitely want to deal with this board state though. You don't want to leave that Andromon Ace out
Yeah,
there
you definitely
either.
don't.
So it's a tough call. Like maybe you do just drop it. Maybe you do.
I mean, another thing you could
Omni-Ace?
do, I was gonna say, Omni Ace
Or
would
not
come
Omni-Ace,
out.
Omni-X.
Omni
rather.
X here would come out for 8. 7
lot
if
of
you're
memory
doing
to
the cool
pass
boy.
over.
But if you're gonna get rid of the Andromon Ace, it's a lot more efficient. Gain the 3 back, end of turn raids, pierce.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's not a bad play
Not
at
bad
all.
at all. Does hit the
Oof.
mem boost though, which
That's
is
tough.
tough. That is scary. What should we tap? Yeah, we should draw a card.
Yeah.
Okay. So Luis can have a big turn this time though. We know he has the Angemon.
We saw the Truby Ace in security. No
Yeah.
Domini though. That from what I could
and
tell.
we haven't seen it in hand yet either, unless he just drew it.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think he has. No, it does not look like he
No
has. It looks like he's
Domini.
on low end and not even really many aces to go off of either. We tuck a card,
Uh-huh.
gain a memory. We have the Adventure Angemon, but or Magna Ange, we do not. There's no BT16 Magna Ange in there either. That's actually a really
So
tough
this is
hand.
actually a tough situation for Louise.
He doesn't have a way of dealing with that Omni, I don't think.
And
Unless he top decks that
Pillow-
like a crazy man.
That's what we might be trying to
Sick.
do here. You could play out a Pillow and just like, or play out Pada and Evo into Gato.
Maybe. Is there a world where you just scramble something too? Like he has a scramble in hand. Like do you scramble up into like a level 5 here just to try and get some draw for a reduced cost, extend your turn a bit?
Yeah. And maybe you top deck it.
Yeah. I mean, I think he has to play on the top deck. I mean, it saved him last time. That's what got him through as far as it did in game 2.
Yeah.
I think, or was it game? I don't remember. I don't remember this point. This is too many double dominis.
Right. Yeah, the more I think about it, I feel like the scramble play is not bad.
Scramble into the Adventure Anja,
Right.
Magna Anja, so you're not risking
Right.
ace overflow.
Exactly.
Maybe just hope you top deck something.
And then if it's not, it's you just say, look, we tried.
tough.
You know,
At least
it
you
is.
can potentially put it.
That's an
Man,
Andromon Ace,
that
so that's
doesn't-
not it.
And even if we drop both of those, we can minus.
There's a boost.
There's a boost. Okay. Here we go.
Cherubi
Okay, they have 10 minutes left, by the way.
and no Domini. The Cherubi is there as an ace threat.
It's yeah,
it's
but
still
it's
not great because
not
there's
gonna
gonna
be
be
enough.
ways for. And honestly, if I were Noah at this point, I wouldn't hesitate to drop that Oryukin Ace here.
No, not after
Right?
this. Yeah. Or where we're sitting. If that Trubia sets the board, yeah, you absolutely just clear it. Thinking about dropping the pillow, it looks
Because we've
like.
-6 the. Yeah, just drop Pillow, pass over 2. So this is Noah's window to do something.
Yeah, Omniax is going to get tucked here. So now we have the Oryukin Ace. We have Gotsu where like you can clear and just leave it the pillow only. The
I was
pillow
gonna say you almost want to leave the Pillow because the scramble then can't play out a Pada or
True.
whatever,
Very
right? And
true.
we know
Yeah.
that there's something in security that you can go into.
Yeah. No,
You keep the
absolutely.
Pillow out on board and just deal with the Magna Angemon there.
Yeah, I think so. I think you just maybe choke to one with a Gotsu if you're Noah. Oh man, that's so tough. He didn't see a Domini, bro.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
hard
absolutely.
thing.
That is very, very tough.
Right now, Noah
Noah-
is reducing by 10. So what do we do here?
You could even go like regular Alphamon, right? Recover 1 -8K.
Well, only one
That's
card's
removal,
removed.
removal,
He has to
yeah,
remove
yeah,
a card,
yeah.
so that wouldn't work.
That would, I think, or you can ace is the play.
I think so too. I think you can ace, blow up the stack, and then just drop a Gotsu, call
You
it
can
a
choose
day.
not to proc Cool Boy. Just go straight for the free. Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay, we
prefer-
will
we'll
choose
plus
to
the
do
memory
it.
actually. Draw a card. Yep. Goodbye adventure. And this is the hard part too. We're tucking a lot of cards into security. It's like we
You
kinda
kind of
need
wanted
some
those in
here.
hand.
Well, I guess the Angel Mane's going in is not too bad.
It's not
but
too bad.
We are running out of pieces though. We know there's 2 Magna Ang in that security already.
Omeka can come out here. That's even a better choke to 1.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Omeka for 4 chokes him to 1. Scramble can top deck, but won't necessarily bring anything out. Any Evos have to be for the 3 if we're going into, for example, Angemon there, right?
Yeah, place it up top. Grab it back off the scramble. He's gonna have to boost to go into a 4 to keep turn.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen now that
And Moose is shaking his head. Yeah, because he drew another Magna Ang off the top, which just means that scramble was a waste.
Yeah.
He would have drawn it anyways.
So waste of scramble, and we know that Domini probably is not in security right now.
We just punch. Yeah, it's fair. And then overflow the memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or not overflow, but,
Yeah, we got you.
send the memory over.
Okay.
And if you're Noah, I think
Well, the thing is,
you have game.
yeah, we have a BT 13 Omni there.
Yep, Omeka's still on the board. You drop the Omni for 3.
5, 6, 7,
He's reducing by 11 right
8,
now.
9, 10, 11.
And then he can do another 1 with the Cool Boy. So you just drop BT 13 Omni. And he sees
He's
it
looking
too.
at it. He's
Yeah.
seeing it.
That's just game. You know what that security is. You know it's all just Digimon. You know it's no options there. He hasn't recovered anything that you haven't seen.
Right.
So for that, well, it should be 1. I guess he also just can do the Omni
Well,
X.
because the
thing
Omni X is
anyways.
going to
Never
swing
mind.
an
I
Oryuken.
miscounted. Yeah.
The Oryuken's going to do the thing anyway, so it doesn't matter. As long as you hit the threshold of 3, this could be it.
This shit. Yeah. End of turn. Yeah. Noah just will attack with rush. Any other on plays, or just makes the
That's
Omeka attack.
safe.
Yeah. Does hit a scramble.
We'll gain the memory back.
Scramble does let him play out a body.
Not that it really matters
No,
right
not
now,
at this
but you can play
point.
pillow, but
Sure. Luis is like, yeah. And then now you
go
just
ahead, swing
go for the
token.
fences. Yeah.
Token will
swing.
die. Jess.
Yep. And this should just be 2 Magna Anges, I'm pretty sure. Or no, it's a Magna Ange and a Gato. Swing. And then you swing for game with Alpha. And
Wow.
Noah takes it. First place in the 5-round tournament and first place again in the top 8,
Yeah.
bro. That is crazy.
That
is
is
so
very,
good.
very well done.
Effectively, the man just went 8-0.
Yes.
He just went
He has
8-0.
he is a true undefeated for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And, he played super well. He did very, very
Yeah.
good job. He saw a lot of lines. Honestly, he deserves it. He did very, very good. He did a
Yeah.
very, very good job, and it was very fun to watch him work. And shout out to Luis too. Luis
I was gonna
made that
say,
a
yeah.
very close game. It was very tight. Unfortunately, he just ran out of gas in game 3. He wasn't
It was
seeing.
an unfortunate break towards the end.
Yeah. No card back make it tough.
First place with that jacket.
True.
But no, I mean, besides Noah, besides Luis, I mean, all of the players had a great showing
Yeah.
today. I mean, Howie was on cam a bit. We had Mitchell. We had a ton of well played games. And so yeah, I mean, shout out goes to everybody. Shout out goes to Nerd Rage for having us here today.
Yes.
They ran an absolutely smooth event.
Mhm.
So like we said before, if you're in the Chicagoland area, want a shop to come and play at, this is the place to be. Very, very well run area. So check them out, support the shop.
Mhm.
We've had a ton of fun here today.
Yep, we're gonna be back here tomorrow playing in the store regional. That's gonna be hosted again, obviously
Mhm.
here, and then it will be commentated by Huang Zero and DigiPanda, 2 goats in the Digimon community. So definitely tune in tomorrow to check that. That starts at noon tomorrow, CST.
Yep.
And yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
and
sick.
if you guys don't mind, Hyper Coliseum, TJ and I are
Mhm.
both a part of the team there, along with some of the boys outside. We run a Digimon YouTube channel. For those of you who haven't heard of us, we do a lot of match play commentary. We do deck profiles, all the gambit, right? So, Hyper Coliseum, check us out. Our Discord is also available, and we would love to see you guys there.
Yes. All right.